Chapter 2139. Hearing Yuan Rant's words, Nangong Xiongba opened his mouth, wanting to say something, but ultimately chose to shut up. At the end of the day, Nangong Xiongba, as the family head, was the most aggrieved. His eldest son, Nangong Yu's mother, had an elder brother in the Tai Divine sect, and his cultivation had reached the ancestral immortal realm. As for Yuan Ran, her family was also a superpower. Sigh, it's been hard on Ling. Nangong Xiongba sighed and murmured, when Nangong Fei enters the Tai Divine sect, I will definitely make it up to you. Boom! At the same time, in the depths of the Wuliang cave, following a muffled sound, Ningyu's cultivation had advanced from the Pixian immortal realm to the half-step golden immortal realm. Not only had Ningyu's cultivation improved, but the strength of the Red Fiend had also improved by leaps and bounds. In fact, the Red Fiend had advanced from the half-step golden immortal realm to the true golden immortal realm. The advancement of the Red Fiend to the golden immortal realm meant that the grade of the Red Fiend sword had also reached the gold treasure level. Using the Red Fiend sword, Ningyu directly rushed into the depths of the Wuliang cave. In a short period of time, he had already traveled 3,000 times. Damn it! All of Ningyu's actions were seen by Nangong Fei. Clenching his fists, Nangong Fei trembled in anger. The Wuliang cave was huge enough to accommodate many people to cultivate at the same time. But what made Nangong Fei furious was that the speed at which Ningyu devoured the immortal qi was too fast. So fast that it was terrifying. Whenever the immortal qi flowed in from the Wuliang pool, most of it would be devoured by Ningyu. In the end, only a little bit of immortal qi landed on his body. I have to stop him. Nangong Fei gritted his teeth and immediately mobilized the gold treasure he carried with him, rushing towards Ningyu. Nangong Fei was very clear. While Ningyu had not advanced to the golden immortal realm, he could still contend with Ningyu a little, and even use some special arrays in the Wuliang cave to trap Ningyu. Once Ningyu advanced to the golden immortal realm, even if he used special arrays, he would not be a match for Ningyu. Voila! Ningyu continued, heading towards the depths of the infinite cave. He planned to cultivate at a place 5,000 times the distance, and fight for the last day to completely raise his cultivation level to the golden immortal realm. However, as soon as Ningyu arrived 4,000 times, his expression changed greatly. That was because he discovered that 4 pillars of immortal energy had suddenly risen around him. Although the light pillars were only as thick as a person's waist, each of them contained an extremely terrifying immortal qi. You'd better stay where you are. Otherwise, I can't guarantee what will happen. Nangong Fei's voice rang in Ningyu's ears. Hearing this, Ningyu was stunned at first. Then he completely understood. It was all Nangong Fei's doing. Do you think these immortal qi light pillars can trap me? The corner of Ningyu's mouth curled up, and he said sinisterly, if you had used these immortal qi light pillars when I first arrived, I might have been afraid. But now... At this point, Ningyu paused for a moment, then the red demon sword in his hand suddenly pierced out. Boom! An extremely frightening, engulfing force shot out from the red demon sword. Hua! The devouring power was extremely terrifying. In just an instant, it completely devoured the immortal qi light pillar. How is this possible? The sudden change caused Nangong Fei's eyes to widen, and his face was filled with disbelief. Could it be that his father, Nangong Xiongba, was lying to him? He had heard from Nangong Xiongba that as long as the array in the infinite cave was activated, unless a martial artist with the strength of a golden immortal advanced stage appeared, it would be impossible to break the array. Could it be that Ningyu's strength had reached the golden immortal advanced stage? But no matter how he looked at it, Ningyu did not seem to be able to display the strength of a golden immortal advanced stage. I'm not a golden immortal. To be honest, apart from Nangong Fei, even Ningyu himself could not help but swear. It was not the red demon sword that had truly exploded with the devouring power, but the time pagoda and the Essence Creation Divine Staff. During the process of cultivation, Ningyu realized that the Time Pagoda and the Essence Creation Divine Staff were exploding with strong desires. Therefore, Ningyu temporarily released their desires and let them deal with the immortal Chi Light pillars together. Who would have thought that the next time he released them, they would immediately devour the immortal Chi Light pillars? Crack, crack, crack. 3 minutes, including the devouring of the first immortal Chi Light pillar. It only took a total of 3 minutes for the 4 immortal Chi Light pillars to be completely devoured. Buzz, buzz! What happened next shocked Ningyu a little. The immortal Chi that the Time Pagoda and the Essence Creation Divine Staff devoured, after being transformed, all surged into his body. In other words, the Time Pagoda and the Essence Creation Divine Staff were completely helping him devour. Boom! Boom! The immortal Chi contained in the 4 immortal Chi Light pillars was so abundant that it was suffocating. Ningyu's spiritual energy, was already big enough, but it was still a little swollen after being filled with the immortal Chi, letting out dull banging sounds. Oh no, it's going to explode. Ningyu's expression changed drastically. If this situation continued, it would not be long before his spiritual energy would definitely explode. There was only one way now. That was to break through to the Golden Immortal Realm and completely advance to the Golden Immortal Realm, doubling the size of his spiritual energy. Otherwise, this day next year would be the anniversary of his death. Protect me. Ningyu instructed the Red Demon, then sat down cross-legged and began to break through to the Golden Immortal Realm. There was a great benefit to breaking through to the Golden Immortal Realm in the Infinite Cave. That was, the Infinite Cave could help him withstand the Golden Immortal Tribulation. Of course, even if the Infinite Cave helped him withstand the Golden Immortal Tribulation, he would still be able to enjoy the final baptism. That was the terrifying thing about the Infinite Cave. Let's see who will advance to the Golden Immortal Realm first. Nangong Fei also sat down cross-legged and began to break through to the Golden Immortal Realm. Boom! Boom! In an instant, several rumbling sounds could be heard. A passageway appeared between Ningyu and Nangong Fei. The immortal Chi that surged in from the infinite pool was divided equally between the two of them. The situation was very clear. They were competing for the opportunity to advance to the Golden Immortal Realm. As long as one of them could advance to the Golden Immortal Realm, the other would definitely fail. The one who succeeded had a high chance of seizing the immortal Chi in the other warrior's body and breaking through to the mid-stage Golden Immortal Realm. As for the one who failed, he would have to bear it silently, and his cultivation might even fall to the Mystic Immortal Realm or even the Heavenly Immortal Realm. This was a gamble that could not be lost. Be it Nangong Fei or Ningyu, both of them had solemn expressions. At that moment, they had already given up on the idea of fighting each other and devoted themselves to breaking through to the Golden Immortal Realm. Golden Immortals were known as mighty figures. The reason why they were called mighty figures was because it was a difficult realm to break through. Since ancient times, many peerless geniuses had failed miserably and vanished on the path to the Golden Immortal Realm. The difficulty of becoming a mighty figure was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Also, the Golden Immortal Tribulation was a hurdle that was difficult to overcome. Many peerless geniuses had died during the Golden Immortal Tribulation. I'll let you see what a true genius is. Chapter 2140. Ha ha ha. Nangong Fei threw his head back and laughed. Everyone knew that the immortal Chi in the immeasurable pool was the key. Whoever could snatch more immortal Chi would have a higher chance of advancing to the Golden Immortal Realm. Now that 2/3 of the immortal Chi was snatched away by Nangong Fei, he was naturally overjoyed. Idiot! Ningyu glanced at Nangong Fei and said calmly, after devouring the immortal Chi in the 4 immortal Chi Light pillars, the immortal Chi in his body had reached a critical point. Unless he could advance to the true Golden Immortal Realm, no amount of immortal qi would be of any use. The reason why Nangong Fei still needed immortal qi was because the immortal qi in his consciousness had not reached its peak. It was clear who was stronger and who was weaker. Drip, drip. Time passed by the minutes and seconds. In the blink of an eye, 3 hours had passed. After 3 hours of devouring, the energy in Nangong Fei's consciousness had finally reached its peak. Break through! With a loud roar, Nangong Fei began to break through the golden immortal barrier. Crack, crack, crack. Several crisp sounds rang out. In the blink of an eye, Nangong Fei broke through 3 layers of the barrier. Great! Nangong Fei was overjoyed. At this rate, it would not be long before he could really break through to the golden immortal realm. Shifting his gaze, Nangong Fei looked at Ningyu. Nangong Fei froze on the spot when he saw what it was. Ningyu did not break through the golden immortal barrier. Instead, he was collecting the immortal qi from the immeasurable pool. Moreover, he used a secret technique to convert all the immortal qi into golden crystals. In a short period of time, Ningyu had converted more than 10,000 golden crystals. What the hell are you doing? Nangong Fei shouted. Ningyu looked up at Nangong Fei without saying a word. Actually, Ningyu was only left with the last layer of the golden immortal barrier. However, Ningyu did not want to break through to the golden immortal realm too early. Ningyu did not want to miss out on such a good opportunity to earn golden crystals. When Nangong Fei would be able to break through the golden immortal barrier was completely within Ningyu's control. As long as he advanced to the golden immortal stage before Nangong Fei, everything would be fine. Damn it! Nangong Fei cursed. He had no idea what Ningyu was doing. Lack of gold crystals? After staying in the Nangong family for so long, Nangong Fei had accumulated a lot of gold crystals. He had a total of 100,000 gold crystals. I'll teach you a lesson later. After cursing in his heart, Nangong Fei ignored Ningyu and focused all his energy on rushing towards the golden immortal stage. Ka. For the rest of the time, Ningyu and Nangong Fei lived together peacefully. Every few minutes, Nangong Fei would break through a few golden immortal barriers. As for Ningyu, he collected tens of thousands of gold crystals. Strictly speaking, Ningyu could collect 600,000 gold crystals in an hour. Ningyu was very satisfied with such a large number of gold crystals. The Tai Divine sect was a large sect. Once inside, they would definitely need a lot of gold crystals. Without the gold crystals, it would be difficult for him to move an inch. Time flew by. 10 hours passed quickly. In these 10 hours, Ningyu collected a total of 6 million gold crystals. Nangong Fei was only a step away from the golden immortal stage. Ha, golden immortal, give me. Nangong Fei laughed wildly at Ningyu, like a rooster who had won. Sorry, however, before Nangong Fei finished his sentence, a terrifying aura emanated from Ningyu's body. Boom! Immediately after, Nangong Fei realized that the immortal qi in his body was flying towards Ningyu uncontrollably. My immortal qi, this is impossible! Nangong Fei yelled. His face was filled with shock. When he was trying to break through the golden immortal barrier, Ningyu was collecting gold crystals. Why was it that, in the end, Ningyu was the one who reached the golden immortal stage before him? Nothing is impossible, this is fate. Ningyu rolled his eyes, collecting the gold crystals while controlling Nangong Fei. Nangong Fei was always a problem. He couldn't kill him, so he could only control him. Otherwise, once Nangong Fei left the immeasurable cave, the consequences would be unimaginable. I have an idea. Suddenly, the Red Fiend's voice sounded in Ningyu's ears. What idea? Ningyu was stunned and asked. Possession, the Red Fiend said solemnly. What's the success rate? Ningyu frowned. The success rate is 80%. The Red Fiend thought for a moment and said, The immortal qi in Nangong Fei's body was decreasing, and it wouldn't be long before his strength dropped to the freezing point. At that time, the Red Fiend would control him and the success rate would be at least 80%. All right. After pondering for a moment, Ningyu nodded and said, "You're in charge of possessing Nangong Fei. I'll go accept the lightning tribulation baptism." The next moment, Ningyu leaped up and rushed towards the entrance of the immeasurable cave. The lightning tribulation baptism was a little closer to the entrance of the immeasurable cave. Fortunately, the final lightning tribulation baptism was not outside. Otherwise, Ningyu would have completely given up on the lightning tribulation baptism. "What are you doing?" Seeing the Red Fiend approaching him, Nangong Fei said in horror, "My father is the patriarch of the Nangong family, Nangong Xiongba, and my mother is Yuan Ran. The Yuan family is an ancestral immortal family, and they once had an ancestral immortal expert. What the hell? Even if you're the king of heaven, you'll still be devoured by me today." The Red Fiend kicked Nangong Fei's head, knocking him out. Then the Red Fiend's figure flashed and turned into a shadow, entering Nangong Fei's body. Possession not only required devouring Nangong Fei's essence spirit, but also his complete memories. Otherwise, it was likely to be discovered. Whoosh whoosh. At this moment, 2 martial artists had already appeared at the entrance of the immeasurable cave. Nangong Xiongba, Yuan Ran. Fei has advanced to the Golden Immortal Realm. He will definitely become a core disciple of the Tai Yi Divine Sect. Yuan Ran was extremely excited, jumping up and down in excitement. This lightning tribulation liquid, relatively speaking, Nangong Xiongba was much more rational. He looked at the lightning tribulation liquid that was constantly flowing into the immeasurable cave, frowned and said, "I know Fei Er's talent. He's much worse than you Er's. Logically speaking, he shouldn't have so much lightning tribulation liquid." Nangong Xiongba, Yuan Ran said coldly, "Do you think Fei Er's talent is still that low? To tell you the truth, a month ago, my father sent someone to bring the 10,000-year Frost Pearl. Now, Fei Er's talent is no worse than Nangong Yu's." "What? 10,000-year Frost Pearl?" Hearing Yuan Ran's words, Nangong Xiongba's face changed slightly. The 10,000-year Frost Pearl was the treasure of the Yuan family. Anyone who refined the 10,000-year Frost Pearl would have their talent greatly improved. Although Nangong Fei's talent was worse than Nangong Yu's, after improving his talent, he should be comparable to Nangong Yu. What is this? Inside the immeasurable cave, after the Red Fiend possessed Nangong Fei, he found an aquamarine pearl on Nangong Fei's body. The pearl was not too big, but it was abnormally cold. Even though the Red Fiend had advanced to the Golden Immortal Realm, he did not dare to hold it for a long time. 10,000-year Frost Pearl. Secretly searching through the memories in his mind, the Red Fiend revealed a look of ecstasy. Originally, Nangong Fei had planned to wait until he advanced to the Golden Immortal Realm before consuming this 10,000-year Frost Pearl. Now, it was a good thing for them. Chapter 2141. Ningyu is currently undergoing the baptism of the lightning tribulation and devouring the tribulation liquid. I have to quickly give this 10 millennia Frost Pearl to him. The Red Fiend did not intend to leave the 10,000-year Frost Pearl for himself to use. He was the sword spirit, and his cultivation level increased along with the level of the Red Demon Sword. Even if he swallowed the 10 millennia Frost Pearl, he would not be able to improve his talent. Ningyu was different. Although Ningyu's talent was very high, it was still not enough when compared to the geniuses of some superpowers. If he could devour the 10 millennium Frost Pearl and double his talent, he wouldn't be at a disadvantage even when facing the geniuses of superpowers in the future. Whoosh! Let's do it! The Red Fiend's figure flashed and instantly arrived beside Ningyu. Right now, Ningyu was receiving the baptism of the tribulation lightning fluid with all his might. The arrival of the Red Fiend did not affect him. Bang! When Ningyu was baptized by the lightning tribulation water, his cultivation level was at the early golden immortal stage. After a period of devouring, Ningyu's cultivation had reached the peak of the early golden immortal stage. He was only a step away from the mid-stage golden immortal realm. Red Fiend was not stupid. Even if he wanted to give the 10,000-year frost pearl to Ningyu, he could not do it now, because Ningyu was in the midst of breaking through to the mid-stage golden immortal stage. Under Ningyu's terrifying devouring power, the surrounding tribulation lightning liquid all entered his body. The tribulation lightning liquid was golden in color, and each drop contained extremely terrifying energy. Ka. As the heavenly tribulation fluid entered his body, cracking sounds rang out from within Ningyu's body. Bang! Bang! Suddenly, 3 muffled sounds rang out in succession. Hua! Ningyu suddenly opened his eyes as a terrifying aura was emitted from his body. Mid-stage golden immortal. At this moment, Ningyu's cultivation had advanced from the peak of early-stage golden immortal to mid-stage golden immortal. After advancing to the intermediate golden immortal stage, Ningyu couldn't help but heave a sigh of relief. Before entering the boundless cave, his cultivation was only at the intermediate stage of the mysterious immortal realm, and there was even a distance between him and the advanced stage of the mysterious immortal realm. But after staying in the immeasurable cave for 3 days, not only did he advance to the golden immortal stage, he even reached the intermediate golden immortal stage. Advancing from the intermediate stage of the profound immortal stage to the intermediate stage of the golden immortal stage was a qualitative change. I can even put up a fight against a peak golden immortal martial artist. Feeling the energy in his body, Ningyu nodded in satisfaction. Coming to the immeasurable cave this time was really the right decision. Here, the Red Fiend handed the 10,000-year frost pearl to Ningyu. What is it? Ningyu asked doubtfully as he received the bead from the Red Devil. I found it on Nangong Fei. It's the 10 millennia frost pearl. It can unconditionally double a devourer's talent. The Red Fiend said casually. I can't believe it. Hearing this, Ningyu could not help but curse. Is there such a good thing? This is nothing. The Tai Divine sect has a lot of good stuff. The Red Devil shrugged and said, From Nangong Fei's memories, the Red Devil had a preliminary understanding of the power of the Tai Divine sect. In the Tai Divine sect, there was even something that could increase a martial artist's talent by 4 times. Of course, such a good thing could only be obtained by those with heaven-defying talent. Ordinary martial artists could not even dream of seeing it. Hurry up and devour it. Try to raise your cultivation to the advanced golden immortal stage as soon as possible. The Red Devil urged. After understanding the power of the Tai Divine sect, the Red Devil was not particularly optimistic about this trip to the Tai Divine sect. Golden immortal experts could only be core disciples in the Tai Divine sect. The sacred son of the Tai Divine sect was even an ancestral immortal. No problem. Ningyu did not waste any time. With a flick of his wrist, he directly threw the 10,000-year frost pearl into his mouth. Hua! The 10,000-year frost pearl melted in his mouth and quickly went down his throat into his stomach. Buzz! The effect of the 10,000-year frost pearl was very obvious. Soon, Ningyu felt that his talent was steadily increasing. Although the rate of increase wasn't particularly fast, at this rate it would take at most 2 hours for his innate talent to double. Drip, drip. Time passed minute by minute. 2 hours passed in the blink of an eye. Boom! Accompanied by a muffled sound, Ningyu could clearly feel that he had completed a complete transformation. Devour! Ningyu did not waste any time. The devouring power in his body circulated crazily and began to devour the lightning tribulation liquid. Since his talent had doubled, he had to continue cultivating and strive to break through to the advanced golden immortal stage as soon as possible. While Ningyu was breaking through to the advanced golden immortal stage, the Red Devil was not idle. Instead, he was familiarizing himself with some of Ningyu's small movements. After all, he was going to face Nangong Xiongba and Yuan Ran next. The Red Devil did not want to reveal any flaws. After his talent was doubled, Ningyu's cultivation speed was not as simple as just doubling. It took him a few hours to advance from the early golden immortal stage to the intermediate golden immortal stage. However, it only took him an hour to advance from the intermediate golden immortal stage to the advanced golden immortal stage. Rumble. A terrifying aura suddenly emanated from Ningyu's body. All right. Seeing that Ningyu had successfully advanced to the advanced golden immortal stage, the Red Devil was delighted. With your current strength, you should be able to fight against a half-step ancestral immortal expert. Because there were no ancestral immortal laws, the Red Devil did not think that Ningyu could fight against a true ancestral immortal expert. However, Ningyu, whose talent had doubled and his cultivation had advanced to the advanced golden immortal stage, was not that simple. According to the Red Devil's estimation, Ningyu could fight against a half-step ancestral immortal expert. Be careful. Ningyu smiled faintly. He then moved and left the immeasurable cave according to the method that Nan Gongling had told him. As for the Red Devil, he swaggered out of the immeasurable cave. Creak! The bronze door of the immeasurable cave slowly opened. Fei-er! The moment the Red Devil left the immeasurable cave, a voice rang in his ears. He looked up. He saw a man and a woman standing side by side, their faces filled with joy. The woman had a flirtatious face and looked to be in her 30s or 40s. Her cultivation was at the intermediate golden immortal stage. The other was a middle-aged man. He had a reserved aura and was unusually calm. His cultivation, the Red Devil's heart trembled. According to his memories, the middle-aged man was the family head of the Nangong family, Nangong Xiongba. On the surface, the Nangong family claimed that Nangong Xiongba's cultivation was only at the peak golden immortal stage. However, from the looks of it, Nangong Xiongba's cultivation was not as simple as it seemed. Half-step ancestral immortal. That's right, Nangong Xiongba's cultivation was at the half-step ancestral immortal stage. I wonder if Ningyu is a match for him. The Red Devil frowned slightly. He secretly compared Ningyu's and Nangong Xiongba's combat strength. In the end, the Red Devil was shocked to find that Ningyu did not have the confidence to win. What are you thinking about? Hurry and follow me. The Tai Divine Sex Envoy has been here for a long time. They are currently selecting disciples in the central square of the half-god city. As the Red Devil was thinking, Yuan Ran's anxious voice rang in his ears. You have advanced to the early golden immortal stage. In this Tai Divine Sex selection, you will definitely be able to become a core disciple. Chapter 2142. At the same time, Nan Gongling was waiting at the secret entrance of the immeasurable cave. He was moving left and right anxiously. The selection of the Tai Divine sect had already begun. If Ningyu didn't come out, he would probably miss the selection. It didn't matter if Ningyu missed the selection, but if he continued to wait here, it was very likely that he would miss the selection too. Wait another 3 minutes. Nan Gongling gritted his teeth. He decided to wait another 3 minutes. If Ningyu didn't come out in 3 minutes, he would go to the central square alone. He had waited for 3 whole years for the selection. Even if Ningyu didn't go, he had to go. Swish! 3 minutes passed quickly. However, just as Nan Gongling was about to leave, an afterimage suddenly appeared in front of him. You're finally out. Come with me to participate in the selection of the Tai Divine sect. Nan Gongling was overjoyed when he saw Ningyu. He grabbed Ningyu and dashed toward the central plaza without a care for the consequences. If he went there now, he should be in time. Pulling Ningyu along, It took less than a minute for Nan Gongling and Ningyu to appear in the central square. At this time, the central square was already full of people. Although most people weren't qualified to participate in the selection, it didn't stop them from coming over to take a look. What if the envoy of the Tai-E Divine sect was blind and thought that they had potential? After all, in the previous Tai-E Divine sect selections, there were people who were selected by the envoy and brought to the Tai-E Divine sect. It was said that one of the successors of the Tai-E Divine sect was selected in this way. Therefore, everyone wanted to try their luck. 5 regions. Ningyu looked around and found that the core of the entire square was roughly divided into 5 regions. Among them, the Nangong family, the Gun family, and the Tuoba family each occupied a large region. In addition, there were some people who occupied a small region. As for the last region, there were only 2 people. However, these 2 people's cultivation was very high. Early stage golden immortal, late stage golden immortal. It was a man and a woman. The woman was a late golden immortal, while the man was an early golden immortal. Those 2 are the core disciples of the Tai-E Divine sect. As long as you can defeat one of them, you can make an exception to enter the Tai-E Divine sect and become a core disciple. Seeing Ningyu looking at the 2 warriors, Nangongling said, "With your strength, you can challenge that early golden immortal core disciple." Nangongling had only spoken halfway when he abruptly stopped, because he noticed that Ningyu wasn't at the advanced stage of the mysterious immortal realm. He sensed a trace of a golden immortal's aura from Ningyu. "You've advanced to the golden immortal stage?" Nangongling's eyes widened in shock. While waiting outside the infinite cave, Nangongling discovered that the golden immortal tribulation was descending. However, at that time, Nangongling believed that the golden immortal tribulation was caused by Nangong Fei. After all, he knew that Nangong Fei was also cultivating in the immeasurable cave. But now that he sensed the aura emanating from Ningyu, Nangongling was a little confused. Could it be that Ningyu had advanced to the golden immortal stage and Nangong Fei had failed? Ningyu nodded and changed the topic. "Since you can make an exception to enter the Tai-E Divine sect by defeating a core disciple, why did you bring 2 core disciples? Don't underestimate that woman." Nangongling had clearly investigated. He pointed to the female core disciple and explained, "Her name is Zhao Exan. Although her cultivation is only at the advanced stage golden immortal stage, her overall strength is comparable to a half-step ancestral immortal expert." The core disciples of the Tai-E Divine sect are divided into 3 levels: heaven, earth, and human. The weakest are the human-level core disciples. For example, those who have just advanced to the golden immortal stage, and those like us who were selected. The slightly stronger ones are the earth-level core disciples. Everyone here is at the mid-stage and late-stage golden immortal stage. As for the last level, the heaven-level core disciples, everyone there is a freak. They are not differentiated by their cultivation, but by their combat strength. Heaven-level core disciples are also known as half-step saints. The weakest among them is comparable to a half-step ancestral immortal. Zhao Exan is a heaven-level core disciple. I'm not too sure why she's here for now. After listening to Nangongling's explanation, Ningyu had a rough understanding of the Tai-E Divine sect. In short, the Tai-E Divine sect was strong, ridiculously strong. Before arriving here, Ningyu felt that the strongest in the Tai-E Divine sect would be the ancestral immortals. But now he felt that the strongest in the Tai-E Divine sect was most likely the virtual immortals. Above the ancestral immortals were the virtual immortals. Any virtual immortal was an extremely terrifying existence. Ningyu shifted his gaze and couldn't help but take another look at Zhao Exan. For some reason, he felt that Zhao Exan looked a little familiar. While Ningyu was looking at Zhao Exan was looking at him too. Frowning slightly, Zhao Exan thought to herself, "Why does he look so much like Ningyu?" Taking out a crystal ball from her pocket, Zhao Exan compared it again and again. The more she looked, the more she felt that it was similar. Could he be the Ningyu that sister mentioned? Zhao Exan's expression became a little complicated. Originally, her sister, Zhao Rui, should have come for the selection. However, the selection of the saints was in 3 months. For the selection of the saints, Zhao Rui had no choice but to choose to go into seclusion and strive for the position of the saints that she had failed to achieve in her previous life. Actually, Zhao Rui was not the reincarnation of the top 3 on the genius roll. She was the reincarnation of a heaven-level core disciple of the Tai E divine sect. In her previous life, Zhao Rui had been framed in the process of becoming a saint and had no choice but to start anew. In this life, she had a very high chance of becoming a saint after cultivating again. In the entire Tai divine sect, there were only 2 people who knew the secret. One was Zhao Rui herself, and the other was Zhao Exan. As for the others, some thought that Zhao Rui was the reincarnation of the top 3 experts on the genius roll, while others thought that she was the reincarnation of an elder. The Dark Emperor and Ning Lu have both reached the golden immortal level and successfully entered the ranks of the human level core disciples. If he really is Ningyu, I have a way to get him into the Tai E divine sect. Zhao Exan secretly made up her mind. Although she felt a trace of the aura of a golden immortal from Ningyu, Zhao Exan did not think that Ningyu had advanced to the golden immortal level. There was no other reason. The Dark Emperor and Ning Lu had enjoyed a lot of resources in the Tai E divine sect, which was why they had advanced from the heaven immortal level to the golden immortal level. How could Ningyu advance from the heaven immortal level to the golden immortal level by himself without resources? Is there anyone who wants to become a core disciple? At this moment, Sun Lianyu, the envoy of the Tai E divine sect, stood up and said loudly, "As long as you can defeat Sun Chong, you can enter the Tai E divine sect and become a human-level core disciple." The requirements of the Tai E divine sect for human-level core disciples were relatively loose. When selecting other disciples, they had to be at the late-stage Xian immortal level and younger than 1,000 years old. But as for the human-level core disciples, as long as one could defeat a human-level core disciple, they could become a core disciple of the Tai E divine sect. The reason? Chapter 2143. Allow me. As soon as Sun Lianyu's voice fell, a young cultivator in black stepped forward and said, "Swoosh!" Everyone followed the voice and saw that the cultivator came from the Tuoba clan's district. Tuoba Chin. The cultivator was called Tuoba Chin, the 3rd genius of the Tuoba clan. The Tuoba clan was proud of their success in the Tai E divine sect selection. There were 10 geniuses from the clan who participated in the selection, and 7 of them successfully entered the Tai E divine sect and became inner disciples. As for the remaining 3, they were preparing to become human-grade core disciples, so they didn't participate in the selection. All right. Sun Lianyu glanced at Tuoba Chen and said, "Sun Chong, step forward." Swoosh. Hearing this, Sun Chong leaped up and landed on the circular platform in the middle of the square. The circular platform was about 10 meters in diameter and was specially prepared for the special selection. "I am Tuoba Chen." Tuoba Chen cupped his fists and said to Sun Chong, "Please advise me, senior brother." "You're not from the Tai E divine sect yet. You can call me senior brother after you defeat me." Sun Chong said, "Since you're only a half-step golden immortal, I will only use half of my strength." After all, Sun Chong was a human-grade core disciple with an early-stage golden immortal cultivation. If he used his full strength, most early-stage golden immortal cultivators wouldn't be his match. Only using half of his strength was already being merciful. Take this. Tuoba Chen was enraged that Sun Chong looked down on him. His figure flashed, and he charged at Sun Chong. Bang! However, Sun Chong shook his head at Tuoba Chen's attack and said, "You know nothing about power." Then Sun Chong clenched his right fist and punched. A crisp sound was heard. Then Tuoba Chen's body fell off the platform like a kite with a broken string. Tuoba Chen has lost the right to enter the Tai Divine sect. Sun Linyu said, "If you want to enter the Tai Divine sect again, you can wait for the selection in 3 years." Tuoba Chen's defeat made the Tuoba clan members' faces turn ugly. One should know that Sun Chong had only used half of his strength. Voila! Since Tuoba Chen had been defeated, many of the Tuoba family's warriors turned their attention to Tuoba Lai. As the second genius of Tuoba family, Tuoba Lai was also a half-step gold immortal. However, Tuoba Lai was much stronger than Tuoba Chen. Tuoba Chen's strength was not even at half-nascent power. Tuoba Lai, on the other hand, had long since reached half-nascent power and was even stronger than that. "I'll try." Tuoba Lai's face was expressionless as he leaped onto the high platform. A half-step gold immortal with the same level of power. Sun Chong sized up Tuoba Lai and said, "If you defeat me, you'll enter the Tai Divine sect and become a human-grade core disciple. If you lose, you'll have to try again." Show. Tuoba Lai was not like Tuoba Chen. Before Sun Chong finished speaking, he leaped into the air and punched out with a violent Yuan Qi gale. Tuoba Lai's thoughts were very simple. As long as they were on the round platform, it was equivalent to entering a state of battle. Whether Sun Chong was a member of the Tai Divine sect or not, he knew that mercy to the enemy was cruelty to himself. Interesting. Looking at Tuoba Lai, who was charging towards him, Sun Chong's lips curled up and he said indifferently, "But you won't be able to win just based on this." Crack! Sun Chong was right. Tuoba Lai's attack seemed strong, but it was actually just a pillow with embroidery. He punched with 50% of his power, and it was just enough to defeat Tuoba Lai. Tuoba Lai's defeat made Nan Gongling's face extremely ugly. His strength was almost on par with Tuoba Lai's. Now that even Tuoba Lai was defeated, didn't that mean that he wouldn't be able to win? Don't worry. Although you can't defeat Sun Chong with his full strength, it won't be a problem to deal with him with 50% power. Ning Yu patted Nan Gongling's shoulder and comforted him. Through Sun Chong's attack, Ning Yu could see that he had many flaws. In a fight between experts, even the slightest flaw could become a breakthrough point. Against someone like Sun Chong, as long as one could find his flaws, one could easily defeat him. "How is that possible?" Nan Gongling said disappointedly. "I'm almost on par with Tuoba Lai. If Tuoba Lai can't defeat Sun Chong, I definitely can't either." "I said you can defeat him, so you can defeat him." Ning Yu rolled his eyes and whispered in Nan Gongling's ear. Boom! Hearing Ning Yu's words, Nan Gongling hurriedly shifted his gaze to the round stage. At this moment, the one fighting with Sun Chong on the round stage was the number 1 genius of the Tuoba family, Tuoba Yuan. Tuoba Yuan's cultivation was at the early stage golden immortal realm. He pressed forward step by step, forcing Sun Chong to use his full strength. Looking at Sun Chong's predicament, coupled with what Ning Yu said to him, Nan Gongling's eyes widened and his face was filled with disbelief. That's right, too many. What Ning Yu said to him earlier was Sun Chong's flaws. After his observation, Ning Yu's flaws were all correct. In an instant, his confidence soared. After finding Sun Chong's flaws, he had a high chance of defeating Sun Chong. Boom! Not long after, the outcome of the intense battle on the round stage was decided. Tuoba Yuan was 1 move ahead and defeated Sun Chong. Tuoba Yuan successfully entered the Tai Divine sect and became a human-class core disciple. Sun Linyu said loudly, "Let's continue." Ning Yu did not want to watch too much of what was happening below. His attention was always on Zhao Exan. Just now, Ning Yu was not very sure, but now he was sure that Zhao Exan and Zhao Rui were related. "Forget it. I'll wait until I enter the Tai Divine sect." Shaking his head slowly, Ningyu chose to close his eyes and rest. As long as he entered the Tai-E-Divine sect, everything would come to light. Following the Tooba family was the Gong family. A total of 2 warriors from the Gong family entered the Tai-E-Divine sect and became human class core disciples. Gong Yang Dong, Gong Yang He. Among them, Gong Yang Dong was a half-step golden immortal, while Gong Yang He was an early-stage golden immortal. A total of 3 people from the Nangong family entered the Tai-E-Divine sect. Nangong Fei, Nangong Chao, Nangong Yu. It's my turn. Seeing that the battle was about to end, Nangong Ling finally mustered his courage and flew to the round stage. Linga, seeing Nangong Ling fly to the round stage, Nangong Xiongba instantly stood up and said in surprise, "What are you doing? Hurry up and get down!" Nangong Ling did not care about Nangong Xiongba's scolding. He turned to look at Sun Chong and said lightly, "Nangong Ling, please advise me." "You're not bad." Sun Chong looked at Nangong Ling and said, "You've been watching from below for so long, but you didn't launch a sneak attack." Chapter 2144. Boom! Nangong Ling and Sun Chong instantly clashed. Because Nangong Ling knew of Sun Chong's flaws, Nangong Ling clearly had the upper hand in this exchange. The exchange between Nangong Ling and Sun Chong caused Zhao Xian's expression to change slightly. According to her thoughts, Nangong Ling was definitely not a match for Sun Chong, even if Sun Chong only used 50% of his strength. But the current situation caused her to be greatly shocked. Not only was Sun Chong at a disadvantage, if this situation continued, it wouldn't be long before he would be defeated. Could it be Ningyu? Zhao Xian frowned. She had clearly seen that Ningyu had whispered a few words into Nangong Ling's ear. Originally, Nangong Ling was extremely flustered, but Ningyu's whispers completely calmed him down. Why is this little bastard so powerful? In the area where the Nangong family was located, Yuan Rant's face became extremely cold as he said fiercely, "Nangong Xiongba, did you secretly give him resources?" Impudent! Yuan Ran insulted Nangong Ling in front of so many people in the family, causing Nangong Xiongba's face to instantly turn ugly. No matter what, Nangong Ling was still his son. It was fine if he said it behind his back, but to say it in front of so many people, where would he put his face? Ling is also a member of the Nangong family. If he can smoothly enter the Tai-E-Divine sect, it will be of great benefit to our Nangong family. Nangong Xiongba said in a deep voice. The Tai-E-Divine sect was very generous. For every core disciple that entered the Tai-E-Divine sect, there were many rewards. Furthermore, not only were the core disciples that entered the Tai-E-Divine sect rewarded, even the families of these people would receive a large amount of resources. Fei, after entering the Tai-E-Divine sect, think of a way to kill that little bastard. Yuan Rant's face was gloomy, but in the end, she did not flare up. However, she sent a sound transmission to Nangong Fei. "I don't want him to see the sun tomorrow." "No problem." Nangong Fei, also known as the Red Devil, nodded and said, "I promise I won't let him see the sun tomorrow." It had to be said that the Red Devil's acting skills were very high. In the entire Nangong family, no one, including Yuan Ran and Nangong Xiongba, realized that he was a fake. Moreover, after he successfully defeated Sun Chong, his uncles gave him a huge amount of gold crystals as if they were trying to curry favor with him. Based on preliminary estimates, there were at least 1,000,000 gold crystals on the Red Devil. Bang! At this moment, the outcome of the battle on the circular platform had already been decided. Nangong Ling had won with an overwhelming advantage. "You win." Sun Chong's expression was a little ugly. His defeat in this battle was a little unsightly. It could even be said that he had been defeated in a very aggrieved manner. Before he could figure out what was going on, he was already defeated. Nangong Ling has successfully entered the Tai-E Divine sect and become a human rank core disciple. Sun Lianyu said in a clear voice. Is there anyone else who wants to come up? Whoosh! Ning Yu looked to his left and right. When he realized that no one was responding, he jumped onto the round platform in a flash. Your cultivation. Sun Chong frowned when he sensed the aura emanating from Ningyu. Early golden immortal. Ningyu only emitted the aura of a golden immortal. As for whether his cultivation was at the early golden immortal or middle golden immortal, Sun Chong was not particularly sure. Just treat me as an early golden immortal. Ningyu said, All right then, watch out. Sun Chong clenched his right hand into a fist and punched out. The exchange with Nan Gongling just now had made Sun Chong feel extremely aggrieved. Now that he could finally go all out, Sun Chong naturally would not hold back. Bang! However, what Sun Chong had expected did not happen. Before he could even get close to Ningyu, he saw an afterimage attacking him. Following that, he flew straight out of the round platform. Swish! The sudden change caused all the warriors in the plaza to open their mouths slightly, their faces filled with shock. What was going on? Sun Chong lost? And he lost so thoroughly? Wasn't this too exaggerated? I've lost. Sun Chong stomped on the ground and jumped onto the round platform. He respectfully cupped his fists at Ningyu and said, Congratulations on becoming a human-level core disciple of the Tai E Heavenly Sect. Sun Chong knew this better than anyone else. Ning Yu's control over his power had reached a frightening level. That move just now, though he was thrown off the platform, he was unharmed. In other words, Ning Yu did not intend to hurt him. He merely threw him off the platform to prevent him from attacking again. After all, there was a rule that anyone who was thrown off the platform would lose. It's you. However, just as Sun Chong's words trailed off, an expert from the Tuoba clan stood up. You killed Tuoba Fong. This expert stared coldly at Ningyu and snarled. I was wondering why I couldn't find you. So you were hiding here. Humph. Before Ningyu could answer, Sun Chong took a step forward and stood in front of Ningyu. He snorted coldly and said, He is a core disciple of the Tai E Divine Sect. Anyone who dares to attack him is an enemy of the Tai E Divine Sect. It was obvious that Sun Chong had seen through Ningyu's potential and wanted to befriend Ningyu. After all, the competition among the core disciples of the Tai E Heavenly Sect was fierce. Though he and Sun Lianyu shared the same surname, they were not related. We do not wish to be enemies with the Tai E Heavenly Sect. We just want to settle a score with this person. Tuoba clan's ancestor, Tuoba Sheng, slowly stood up and said, He killed Tuoba Fong of the Tuoba clan. A person like him should not be chosen to enter the Tai E Heavenly Sect. Hearing Tuoba Sheng's words, Sun Chong frowned slightly in surprise. Logically speaking, no matter how strong Tuoba Sheng was, he would not dare to go against the Tai E Heavenly Sect. If he dared, at the thought of this, Sun Chong hurriedly shifted his gaze to Sun Lianyu. This glance caused Sun Chong's expression to turn completely gloomy. Sun Lianyu's expression was as if she was smiling, yet not, making it clear that she did not want to interfere. This is bad. Sun Lianyu must have been bribed by Tuoba Sheng. Sun Chong's heart skipped a beat, and he hurriedly sent a voice transmission to Ningyu. I saw that you were standing together with Nan Gongling of the Nan Gong family. Why don't you beg him to let the Nan Gong family help you? Sun Lianyu was the main instigator of this selection. Sun Chong wanted to protect Ningyu, but he did not have the strength to do so. I'll give the Tuoba clan a chance. Sun Lianyu patted her lapel and said, You can send a martial artist, and this. At this point, Sun Lianyu paused for a moment and looked at Ningyu, asking, What's your name? Swoosh. Sun Lianyu's question made Zhao Xian instantly shift her gaze to Ningyu. She wanted to see if this person was really Ningyu. Under everyone's gaze, Ningyu said calmly, Ningyu. Very good. As a core disciple of the Tai E Heavenly Sect, You must be daring enough to take responsibility for your actions. Sun Lianyu nodded and said, Since you killed Tuoba Fong of the Tuoba clan, you must bear their wrath. Chapter 2145. Swoosh! Sun Lianyu's words made Ningyu the focus of the entire plaza. Defeat the cultivators sent by the Tuoba clan? To think that Sun Lianyu could say that. After all, the Tuoba clan had late-stage Golden Immortals, and even peak Golden Immortals. Although Ningyu defeated Sun Chong, he did not stand much chance against mid-stage or late-stage Golden Immortals. It was obvious that Sun Lianyu was on the same side as the Tuoba clan, and might be bribed by the Tuoba clan. No problem. Ningyu had the same expression as he glanced at the Tuoba clan's area, and said indifferently, To Ningyu, he would deal with soldiers with arms and water with an earth weir. Even if the Tuoba clan sent their clan leader, he would not be afraid. All right. Sun Lianyu nodded solemnly, then turned to Tuoba Sheng and asked, Who will your Tuoba clan send? Me, let me go. I'm going to tear him apart. He must be punished for killing a member of the Tuoba clan. All the cultivators of the Tuoba clan revealed expressions of righteous indignation. Under such circumstances, Tuoba Sheng raised his hands and pressed them down slowly. I'll do it. Under everyone's gaze, Tuoba Sheng said indifferently, As the clan leader of the Tuoba clan, I have the responsibility and obligation to protect the Tuoba clan. Swoosh! Tuoba Sheng's words instantly caused an uproar in the plaza. As a clan leader, he actually attacked an early-stage Golden Immortal cultivator. Where would he put his face if news of this spread? Although everyone had such thoughts, they did not dare to say it out loud. Of course, not everyone dared not make an enemy out of the Tuoba clan. Among them, the clan leader of the Ram clan, Gongyang Huayin, harumphed coldly. Humph! Aren't you ashamed? What a disgrace to our half-god city! As though he did not hear Gongyang Huayin, Tuoba Sheng leaped onto the round platform. In half-god city, the Tuoba clan was ranked third while the Ram clan was ranked second. It was unwise to make an enemy out of the Ram clan. However, Tuoba Sheng's silence did not mean that Sun Lianyu would not speak. Since she had received benefits from Tuoba Sheng, Sun Lianyu naturally had to support the Tuoba family. His expression was cold as he scolded. This fight is voluntary by both sides. If anyone dares to spread rumors, don't blame me for being impolite. Boom! As soon as she finished speaking, Sun Lianyu unleashed her aura. Half-step ancestral immortal. Without question, Sun Lianyu's cultivation base had reached the half-step ancestral immortal stage. Ka-ka! In the end, he still chose to loosen his fists. There was nothing wrong with becoming enemies with Tuoba Sheng. However, if he became enemies with Sun Lianyu, the impact would be huge. Sun Lianyu was the emissary of the Tai E Divine sect, and behind her was the entire Tai E Divine sect. The geniuses of the Ram clan still had to enter the Tai E Divine sect. If they were to be schemed against by Sun Lianyu in the Tai E Divine sect, wouldn't the losses outweigh the gains? Therefore, Gongyang Huayin obediently shut his mouth and didn't dare to say anything else. You have guts. Tuoba Sheng's lips curled. If I'm not wrong, when you killed Tuoba Fong, your cultivation base was only at the mid-stage mystic immortal stage. To be able to kill the early stage golden immortal stage Tuoba Fong at the mid-stage mystic immortal stage, it means that you must have some sort of trump card or some sort of powerful Dharma treasure. Hand over the Dharma treasure, and I can spare your life. Tuoba Sheng was confident. After all, his cultivation base was the same as Sun Lianyu's, at the half-step ancestral immortal stage. Even if Ningyu had advanced to the golden immortal stage, killing Ningyu would be as easy as squashing an ant. If you want to fight, then fight. Why so much nonsense? Ningyu's expression changed. Then he stomped on the ground and dashed out. Attack first. against a martial artist like Tuoba Shang, there was no benefit in talking to him. He had to seize the opportunity when he was careless to launch a sudden attack. That way, he would be able to achieve unexpected results. As expected, Tuoba Shang still had that sloppy look when he saw Ningyu charging towards him. He did not think that Ningyu was a match for him. He had only used 50% of his strength in the first move. He clenched his right fist and clashed against Ningyu's fist. Bang! The two fists collided. A crisp sound rang out. Then, Tuoba Shang's expression changed as he retreated hurriedly. In the blink of an eye, Tuoba Shang had retreated from the circular stage. Swish! Instantly, the entire square fell silent. What did they just see? One move. Just one move. Ningyu had blasted Tuoba Shang off the arena. Everyone knew what being blasted off the arena meant. It meant that Tuoba Shang had lost. Even if he had been careless, he had still lost. This is infuriating. Tuoba Shang's expression was extremely grim. He had failed miserably at an easy task. He, a mighty half-step ancestral immortal, had been defeated by a golden immortal. If word of this got out, it would be even more embarrassing than him attacking Ningyu. No one in the world can save you. Tuoba Shang's figure flashed as he once again flew onto the arena. Tuoba Shang, you've already lost. Why are you still charging up shamelessly? At this moment, Gongyang Huayan finally could not take it anymore and said fiercely, You may be shameless, but our Gongyang clan and Nangong clan do. Gongyang Huayan was very smart. He could not compete with Sun Lianyu, so he dragged in the Nangong clan. The Nangong clan naturally had their backing to become the top clan in Half-God City. In the past, none of the Tai Divine Sect's envoys dared to provoke the Nangong clan. Gongyang Huayan. Unexpectedly, Nangong Xiongba's expression turned cold as he berated, The grudge between you and the Tuoba clan has nothing to do with our Nangong clan. Obviously, Nangong Xiongba did not want to get involved in this matter. I appreciate the Gongyang clan's kindness. Ningyu turned to look at Gongyang Huayan and said, I will take care of the Gongyang clan. It's worth it. Hearing Ningyu's words, Gongyang Huayan's heart moved. The reason why he risked defending Sun Lianyu and becoming enemies with Tuoba Shang was very simple. He wanted to build a relationship with Ningyu. Gongyang Huayan was not a fool. He clearly saw the move that Ningyu used to defeat Tuoba Shang. Although Tuoba Shang did not use his full strength, he used 50% of his strength. A move with 50% of his strength was not able to stop Ningyu. It was enough to show how strong Ningyu was. In other words, in the future, Ningyu's achievements in the Tai Divine Sect would definitely be higher than Sun Lianyu's. Whether the Gongyang clan can dominate Half-God City depends on Ningyu's performance. Gongyang Huayan did not speak anymore. However, his attention was always on Ningyu. Continue fighting. Sun Lianyu glanced at Gongyang Huayan and frowned, then said coldly, Unless one of you dies, you have to keep fighting for me. Ha ha ha. That's exactly what I wanted. Tuoba Shang raised his head and laughed wildly, then rushed out with a roar. In order to bribe Sun Lianyu, Tuoba Shang could be said to have bled a lot. The entire Tuoba clan's gold crystals, as well as the few remaining ancestral crystals, were all taken out by him. The effort would be rewarded. After paying such a huge price, he finally made Sun Lianyu completely stand on his side. Chapter 2146. Boom! In an instant, Ningyu and Tuoba Shang started fighting. Since Tuoba Shang was going all out, he had the upper hand this time. Bastard, I'll give you one last chance. Hand over the Dharma treasure, and I'll spare your life. Tuoba Shang said fiercely as he attacked with all his might. Otherwise, I'll show you why flowers are red. You talk too much. Ningyu took out the essence, creating divine staff. After a few minutes of fighting, Ningyu had a rough idea of Tuoba Shang's strength. Tuoba Sheng had just become a half-step ancestral immortal and had yet to fully grasp the combat power of a half-step ancestral immortal. If he was a veteran half-step ancestral immortal, Ning Yu wouldn't have much confidence in defeating him. However, Ning Yu didn't feel any pressure when facing a half-step ancestral immortal like Tuoba Sheng. Rumble. After taking out the essence, creating divine staff, Ning Yu instantly suppressed Tuoba Sheng. How is that possible? Tuoba Sheng's face was filled with disbelief. He knew very well that the essence creating divine staff that Ning Yu took out was only a peak stage dark treasure. It wasn't even a gold treasure. Logically speaking, he should have been able to break a Dharma treasure of this level with one punch. However, no matter how he attacked, the essence creating divine staff remained standing. Buzz! Buzz! Nobody knew what was going on. The void trembled, and the expression of the cultivator hidden inside turned grave. Origin creating immortal. If Ning Yu saw this martial artist, he would have noticed that this martial artist was exactly the same as the one he saw in the Origin Divine Palace. His strength has improved so quickly. Origin creating immortal stared at Ning Yu and said in surprise, "Looks like it was a wise choice to give you the essence creating divine staff." "Fine. Since you want to go to the Tai divine sect, I'll go and help you." After thinking for a while, Origin creating immortal's body became illusory and disappeared. Crack! 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 As soon as Origin creating immortal disappeared, the battle on the stage was over. While Tuoba Sheng was unprepared, Ning Yu waved the Origin creation divine staff in his hand and smashed it hard on his chest. Several cracking sounds could be heard. Tuoba Sheng fell onto the stage like a dead dog, with several of his ribs broken. It was to the extent that Tuoba Sheng's aura had plummeted. At this moment, even a heavenly immortal could kill Tuoba Sheng. Voila! The sudden change caused an uproar among the cultivators in the plaza. No one expected that Tuoba Sheng would be the one to lose in the end. Moreover, Tuoba Sheng's defeat was so strange and exaggerated. What happened? How could Tuoba Sheng fail? You're asking me? Who the hell am I supposed to ask? I saw Ning Yu smash Tuoba Sheng's chest with a staff, and then Tuoba Sheng was defeated. This doesn't make sense. Tuoba Sheng is a half-step ancestor immortal. Even if he was struck by a golden treasure, there's no way he could have lost. That's right. The highest grade of the magical treasure in Ning Yu's hand is a mysterious treasure. It's definitely not a gold treasure. Everyone discussed among themselves. It was clear that everyone found Tuoba Sheng's defeat very strange and unbelievable. Swish! On the other side, Sun Lianyu stood up with a dark expression. Tuoba Sheng's defeat was something he hadn't expected. He had wanted to support Tuoba Sheng and have him control half God City so that he could provide him with an endless supply of crystals. Great! Both of them were overjoyed that Ning Yu had won. Both of them were overjoyed that Ning Yu had won. He's got some skills. Zhao Xian finally started to take Ning Yu seriously. At the beginning, even though Ning Yu had defeated Sun Chong, she did not think that Ning Yu was that strong. After all, Sun Chong was too weak. But now, Ning Yu had defeated Tuoba Sheng. She had to look at him in a different light. Tuoba Sheng was a half-step ancestor immortal. Even she might not be able to defeat him. When did the power of the essence creating divine rod become so strong? As the person involved, Ning Yu was a little confused. He knew that the essence creating divine rod was strong, but he did not expect it to be this strong. A peak-tier mystic treasure had defeated a half-step ancestor immortal. If he had not seen it with his own eyes, he would not have believed it. Could it be immortal creation? Ning Yu frowned. In that instant, he vaguely felt a terrifying energy shooting out from the essence, creating divine rod and entering Tuoba Sheng's body. There was only one explanation for this. Immortal creation's backup plan. Ning Yu had a grim expression. That was because he still did not know if immortal creation was a friend or foe. Ah, Tuoba Sheng let out a hysterical scream after sensing the situation in his body. His broken ribs were not the reason for Tuoba Sheng's scream. The reason why Tuoba Sheng let out such a scream was because he realized that his organs were all broken. Furthermore, even his consciousness was destroyed. Most importantly, the destruction of his sea of consciousness meant that he would never be able to cultivate again. For a half-step ancestor immortal, there was nothing more painful than being unable to cultivate. "You've lost." Ningyu looked at Tuoba Sheng with a calm expression and said indifferently, "According to the rules, the loser will be killed." "No, you can't kill me," Tuoba Sheng yelled like a madman. "I'm the patriarch of the Tuoba clan. If you kill me, you'll be hunted down by the entire Tuoba clan." "Are you threatening me?" Ningyu waved the essence, creating divine rod in his hand. "I have a unique trait. If anyone tries to threaten me, I'll show them how strong I am. I'm not threatening you, I'm just stating a fact." Tuoba Sheng had a strong desire to live. He said in a deep voice, "You're a core disciple of the Tai divine sect. There's a clear rule that we can't kill the patriarchs of the 3 major clans of Half-God City for no reason." "He's right. The Tai divine sect does have such a rule," Sun Lianyu said coldly. "Then, may I ask if there's a rule that the patriarchs of the 3 major clans of Half-God City can't attack core disciples?" Ningyu looked at Sun Lianyu and asked. "This." Sun Lianyu was speechless. Strictly speaking, the Tai divine sect did have such a rule. However, he was biased towards Tuoba Sheng because he had received benefits from him. Remember this in your next life. There are some people you can't afford to offend. Ningyu smashed down with the essence, creating divine rod in his hand. Crack! Under Tuoba Sheng's horrified gaze, the essence creating divine rod landed on his head. There was a crack. Instantly, Tuoba Sheng's head exploded and blood splattered everywhere. At that moment, the patriarch of the Tuoba clan of the 3 major clans of Half-God City, Tuoba Sheng, died on the spot. "You." Sun Lianyu's expression darkened when he saw Ningyu kill Tuoba Sheng. It was clear that Sun Lianyu was extremely furious. Tuoba Sheng had only given him half of the benefits that he had promised. Now that Ningyu had killed Tuoba Sheng, didn't that mean that he couldn't get the other half of the benefits? According to the rules, those who kill the patriarchs of the 3 major clans of Half-God City for no reason will be expelled from the Tai divine sect. Chapter 2147. Swoosh! Ningyu's face instantly darkened. He had gone through so much trouble to come to Half-God City and participate in the selection of Tai divine sect. His goal was to enter Tai divine sect and find the Dark Emperor and Ninglu. Now, Sun Lianyu had stripped him of his right to enter Tai divine sect. How could he not be angry? Although he was angry, Ningyu did not show it too much. He looked at Sun Lianyu and said calmly, "I've killed him. As for whether I can enter Tai divine sect, I hope you can reconsider." "There's no need to reconsider. You've already been stripped," Sun Lianyu said coldly. However, before Sun Lianyu could finish his words, he stopped abruptly. Because he saw Ningyu holding the origin, creating divine staff, and walking towards him step by step. Ningyu's action made Sun Lianyu shudder. Strictly speaking, his strength was similar to Tuoba Sheng's. Since Ningyu could kill even Tuoba Sheng, it was obvious that Ningyu could kill him as well. "I'm from Tai divine sect." "Stop right there." Sun Lianyu forced himself to calm down and scolded. "If you dare take another step forward, I'll report to Tai divine sect and issue a kill order for you." "Russell." Ningyu seemed to not have heard Sun Lianyu. He moved and swung the origin, creating divine staff as he walked. "Damn it!" Sun Lianyu cursed. Ningyu's step by step forced him to be highly focused. This was Half-God City, not Tai divine sect. Even if he was killed, no one would avenge him. All of a sudden, Sun Lianyu's heart skipped a beat, and he hurriedly shifted his gaze to Zhao Exan. Zhao Exan was a heaven-class core disciple. Although he was only a late-stage golden immortal, his combat power was at the half-step ancestral immortal level. He believed that if he and Zhao Exan joined forces, they would definitely be able to defeat Ningyu. Back then, when Zhao Exan wanted to come, he tried to stop him. But looking at it now, he was very glad that he had brought Zhao Exan along. Otherwise, how could he fight against Ningyu on his own? He's just the patriarch of a family in the half-god city. So what if he's killed? It's no big deal. Zhao Exan's reaction was out of Sun Lianyu's expectations. He had thought that Zhao Exan would be on the same side as him. Who would have thought that Zhao Exan and Ningyu would be on the same side? It seemed Zhao Exan knows Ningyu? Thump. Thinking of this, Sun Lianyu's heart thumped. He wasn't too afraid of Zhao Exan. What he was afraid of was Zhao Exan's older sister, Zhao Rui, who was trying to become a saint. Once Zhao Rui succeeded in becoming a chosen, Zhao Exan's status in the Tai Divine sect would also rise. What's your decision? Ningyu stopped, looked at Sun Lianyu, and said lightly, Can I go to the Tai Divine sect? No problem. Sun Lianyu's eyes flickered. She looked at the Tuoba clan, then at Zhao Exan, and finally nodded firmly. This confrontation ended in his defeat. Everyone who has been selected, follow me. Sun Lianyu flicked her wrist and threw out a huge magical worship. Swoosh, swoosh. Then many geniuses who had passed the selection jumped onto the worship. After everyone had boarded the worship, Sun Lianyu controlled the worship to tear the void and flew towards the Tai Divine sect. Swoosh. After Sun Lianyu and the others left, the huge square instantly became noisy. Meticulous martial artists had decided to cut ties with the Tuoba clan and rely on the Ram clan or the Nangong clan. After all, the Tuoba clan's clan leader had died in battle. From now on, the Tuoba clan would gradually decline. In the long run, the Nangong clan and the Ram clan would definitely join forces to drive the Tuoba clan out of the half-god city. Crack! Ning, you didn't know what had happened in the half-god city. At this moment, he had already arrived at the mountain gate of the Tai Divine sect on the worship. Sun Lianyu, the half-god city is really getting worse every year. Why isn't there even a middle golden immortal martial artist this time? As soon as Ningyu and the others arrived at the mountain gate of the Tai Divine sect, a gloomy voice was heard. Then, another warship slowly appeared in everyone's sight. Ningyu looked over. On the other warship, there were dozens of genius martial artists. Among them, there were 3 martial artists that made Ningyu look at them in a different light. One was about 15 years old and had a middle golden immortal cultivation. Another was about 25 years old and had a late golden immortal cultivation. As for the last one, he was a burly man who had a peak golden immortal cultivation. Each of the 3 martial artists was stronger than the previous one. Zhou Shun, aren't you afraid that the wind will cut your tongue? Sun Lianyu said coldly, This time, I've chosen a peerless genius. It's no exaggeration to say that he alone can wipe out everyone on your warship. How dare you? Arrogant. Who dares to say such a thing? You're courting death. Sun Lianyu's words caused the martial artists on the other warship to become furious. They were all top geniuses in their respective clans. Now that they were being ridiculed, how could they tolerate it? I'm sorry, I'm not targeting anyone. I'm saying that all of you geniuses are trash before him. Sun Lianyu's lips curled up as he pointed at Ningyu and said proudly, Not only can Ningyu suppress all of you so-called geniuses, he can even defeat your envoy, Zhou Shun, with ease. Boom! If Sun Lianyu's previous words were arrogant, then his words were arrogant to the extreme. It was fine if he could wipe out all the geniuses. After all, geniuses could only be called geniuses before they grew up. But Sun Lianyu said that Ning Yu could fight against Zhou Shun and even defeat him. It was a little like sowing discord. One should know that Zhou Shun's cultivation was the same as his, a half-step ancestral immortal. Moreover, Zhou Shun was a heaven-class core, disciple of the Tai divine sect. Who's Ning Yu? Do you dare to fight with me? At this moment, a 15-year-old middle-stage golden immortal took a step forward and said coldly, "I, Wu He, would like to see what gives you the right to be so arrogant. Let me do it." The 25-year-old martial artist said in a deep voice, "I, Sun Yong, always like to teach those who think they're infallible a lesson. Let me do it." The burly man shook his head gently and jumped off the warship. He walked slowly towards Ning Yu's warship. After a while, the burly man stopped in his tracks and said indifferently, "I alone am enough to deal with you trash." "Ha ha ha. Good. No wonder you're the #1 genius of our Ling Divine City. You're bold. That's right. Little brats from half Divine City. Don't cry when you get beaten up later." Hee, that's hard to say. In the past, half Divine City has always been defeated by our Ling Divine City. Only a person called Nan Gongyu is decent. I'm afraid they'll be swept away by Xiong Hu this time. Although Xiong Hu is only a peak golden immortal, the strength of his body has already reached the half-step ancestral immortal realm. Chapter 2148. Swoosh! In an instant, all the geniuses of Half-God City shifted their attention to Ning Yu. They weren't idiots. On the contrary, they were all shrewd. They could sense an extremely terrifying aura from Xiong Hu, peak golden immortal. Judging from the cultivation that Xiong Hu had displayed, Ning Yu was probably the only one in the Half-God City who could fight him. After all, Ning Yu had killed Tuobasheng, who was a half-step ancestral immortal. Wouldn't it be a piece of cake for him to deal with Xiong, who was only a peak golden immortal? "You're Ning Yu." Xiong Hu raised his brows and said coldly, "I'll let you have 3 moves first." Ning Yu looked up at Xiong Hu and shook his head. "You're no match for me." "Ha ha ha." Xiong Hu threw his head back and laughed wildly. After laughing, Xiong Hu changed the topic and said fiercely, "Trash. Just say it if you don't dare to attack. Why did you say I'm no match for you? In the future." Uft. However, before Xiong Hu could finish his sentence, his body was sent flying like an afterimage. Xiong Hu spat out a mouthful of blood, and his aura instantly dropped to a freezing point. "Why you?" wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth. Xiong Hu pointed at Ning Yu with his right hand. "You sneak attacked me." "Idiot," Ning Yu said calmly. He didn't want to attack, but this Xiong Hu was too much of a bully. To deal with such a person, one had to beat him until he was convinced. Otherwise, he would provoke you again and again. Of course, Ning Yu didn't forget about the culprit. The main culprit behind all of this was Sun Lianyu. Therefore, after defeating Xiong Hu, he walked to Sun Lianyu and said, "This is the last time." With that, he turned around and walked towards Tai Divine Sect. On the way here, he had already received the token representing a human-level core disciple. Sun Lianyu's task was to send them safely to Tai Divine Sect. In other words, from now on, he had nothing to do with Sun Lianyu. What he needed to do next was to get a place to stay and then communicate with Zhao Exan to see if he could find the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu. Stop! However, Ning Yu had only taken a few steps when he heard another reprimand. This time, the one who shouted wasn't Sun Lianyu or Xiong Hu, but Zhou Shun. Zhou Shun stared coldly at Ning Yu and said, "As a disciple of the Tai Divine Sect, how dare you speak rudely to the emissary? It seems that I have to teach you a lesson." Ning Yu frowned slightly, a little puzzled. Logically speaking, Zhou Shun and Sun Lianyu had enmity, and with his attitude towards Sun Lianyu, Zhou Shun shouldn't be angry. However, When Ningyu saw Zhou Shun involuntarily glance at Zhao Exan from the corner of his eyes, he understood everything. In the end, Zhou Shun had a problem with them because of Zhao Exan. Such a melodramatic plot. Ningyu rolled his eyes. Without a doubt, Zhou Shun liked Zhao Exan, and Zhao Exan followed him to the half-god city. But what did all this have to do with him? Ignoring Zhou Shun, Ningyu continued to walk towards the Tai-E Divine Sect. He had just entered the Tai-E Divine Sect and had yet to gain a foothold. At this time, it wasn't suitable to have too many conflicts with others. Wait until he gained a foothold in the Tai-E Divine Sect. Swish. Sometimes, when you don't want to cause trouble, trouble will always come to you. Zhou Shun seemed to have Ningyu in his grasp. In a flash, he stood in front of Ningyu and said coldly, "Let me see what you have to be arrogant." Chi-chi. The moment he said that, Zhou Shun clenched his right fist and punched towards Ningyu's head with a violent gust of wind. Although Zhou Shun didn't use his full strength in this punch, he used 50% of his strength. A punch with 50% of a half-step ancestral immortal strength was enough to kill an ordinary, peak golden immortal expert. Let's see how arrogant you can be. To deal with this kind of person, Senior Brother Zhou has to take action. That's right, Senior Brother Zhou is strong. He doesn't need to use his full strength to easily defeat this guy. The people of Ling Divine City were all elated, as though they could see the tragic scene of Ningyu being defeated. On the contrary, apart from the Tuoba family, the martial artists of Half-God City were also very excited. The reason for their excitement was naturally because they felt that Ningyu could win. Ningyu could even kill Tuoba Sheng with his full strength, let alone Zhou Shun, who only used 50% of his strength. Humph. Zhou Shun's open provocation finally made Ningyu's face turn cold. "I didn't want to take action, but you're too much." As Do Rang turned around, Ningyu punched out, and it collided with Zhou Shun's fist. Kacha! When the two collided, a crisp sound rang out. Like a kite with its string cut, Zhou Shun was sent flying backwards. Zhou Shun only stopped when he hit the ground. After easily defeating Zhou Shun, Ningyu did not stay on the spot, but turned around and walked towards the Tai-E Divine Sect. Behind Ningyu, the geniuses of Half-God City hastened their pace to catch up. In the past, the geniuses of Half-God City did not have a good time in the Tai-E Divine Sect. The reason was that there was no one to protect them. Now that there was a thigh like Ningyu, how could they let it go? They had to hold on to Ningyu's thigh, even his leg hair. Otherwise, they would end up in a miserable state in the Tai-E Divine Sect. Humph. Trash. Sun Lianyu glared at Zhou Shun, then tore the void and disappeared. Even the geniuses of Ling Divine City left, leaving Zhou Shun and Xionghu here. If I don't take revenge, I, Zhou Shun, am not a human. Zhou Shun clenched his fists, and his face became extremely hideous. I'm going to find my brother and let my brother take revenge for me. Xionghu clenched his teeth and green veins popped out on his body. Hearing Xionghu's words, Zhou Shun was overjoyed. How could he forget about Xionghu's brother? Xionghu's brother was called Xiong, a heaven-grade core disciple of the Tai-E Divine Sect. Although he and Xiong were both heaven-grade core disciples, the gap between him and Xiong was worlds apart. Xiong was only half a step away from his real ancestor. It could be said that even 100 of him wouldn't be Xiong match. Let's go. Zhou Shun stood up from the ground with difficulty and left with Xionghu. At the same time, Tai-E Divine Sect Distribution Hall. Everyone who was promoted to a core disciple could be allocated a residence for free with the token. Generally speaking, the residence of a core disciple was worlds apart from that of an inner disciple. This wasn't normal. The people of Half-God City who were promoted to human-grade core disciples were overjoyed with excitement on their faces. On the other hand, those who could only enter the inner disciple had ugly expressions on their faces. This is my token. Ning Yu handed the token that represented his identity to the servant of the distribution hall and said, "Please give me a residence." Chapter 2149. There's a difference in levels. Ning Yu was startled and asked, "How do you divide it?" The worst human classroom costs 10,000 gold crystals a year. The medium-class human classroom costs 50,000 gold crystals a year. And the best human classroom costs 200,000 gold crystals a year, the manservant explained. Without much thought, Ning Yu took out a storage bag and tossed it to the servant. "Give me 2 of the best human-level rooms." The reason why Ning Yu wanted 2 rooms was simple. One of them was for Nan Gongling, strictly speaking. Most of the credit for the large amount of gold crystals he obtained from the Infinity Cave was due to Nan Gongling. After all, without Nan Gongling, he wouldn't even be able to enter the Infinity Cave, let alone obtain the gold crystals. Therefore, it was absolutely necessary to give Nan Gongling a human-level room as well. All right. After receiving the storage bag and checking, the servant took out 2 room cards and handed them to Ning Yu with a smile. He was extremely glad that he had asked. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to get the commission for the 2 superior rooms. 2 superior human-level rooms cost 400,000 gold crystals, and he would get a total of 10,000. 10,000 gold crystals were not to be underestimated. 10,000 gold crystals could support his cultivation for 3 years. "Let's go." Waving the room card in his hand, Ning Yu said to Nan Gongling, "Let's see what the best human-level room looks like and see if it's as good as the Infinity Cave." The rooms in the Infinity Cave can't be compared. Nan Gongling shook his head. The energy in the Infinity Cave mainly comes from the Infinity Pool. Without gold crystals to replenish it, the Infinity Cave will be useless. The energy in the rooms here is distributed by a middle immortal meridian. When he heard that, Ning Yu's heart skipped a beat. Immortal meridians were good stuff. Right now, he had a total of 2 immortal meridians. One was an inferior immortal meridian obtained from the sacred divine palace, while the other was a middle immortal meridian obtained from the underground of the Tuoba family. An inferior immortal meridian could create a golden immortal expert. A middle immortal meridian could create an ancestral immortal expert. Hee, I came at the right time. As soon as Ning Yu and Nan Gongling left the distribution hall, a faint laughter rang in their ears. Whoosh! Nan Gongling turned to look. Nan Gongling's face instantly turned cold when he saw the familiar figure in front of him. He recognized this person, and his memory was still fresh in his mind. The eldest son of the Nan Gong family, Nan Gongyu. I really didn't expect that even a piece of trash like Third Brother would be chosen by the Tai Divine Sect. The corners of Nan Gongyu's mouth curled up as he said gloomily, "It seems that it's necessary to talk to the sect and raise the selection requirements appropriately." Ka. Hearing Nan Gongyu's sarcastic words, Nan Gongling clenched his fists, making cracking sounds. At this moment, Nan Gongling was extremely furious. However, Nan Gongling knew his limits. With his keen perception, he discovered Nan Gongyu's cultivation. Half-step ancestral immortal. 3 years. In just 3 years, Nan Gongyu had advanced from the golden immortal stage to the half-step ancestral immortal stage. This level of cultivation talent was countless times higher than his. "Let's go." Ning Yu patted Nan Gongling on the shoulder and said, "There's no need to waste time here." Although Nan Gongyu was strong, Ning Yu was not afraid of him. Ning, you just felt that it was a little unwise to have a conflict with Nan Gongyu here, because he found that in the void not far away, there was an aura that made his heart palpitate. And that aura appeared with Nan Gongyu. Without a doubt, as long as he had a conflict with Nan Gongyu here, it would be fine if he lost, but once he won, the ancestral immortal expert in the void would definitely intervene. With his current cultivation at the late stage of the Golden Immortal, he could not compete with a real ancestral immortal for the time being. Humph! We are brothers. What are you doing here? Nan Gongyu snorted and said to Ningyu, "If you know what's good for you, get out of here as soon as possible, or I'll let you know why flowers are so red." Ningyu frowned slightly. He did not want to have a conflict with Nan Gongyu, but it did not mean that he was afraid of him. He could easily defeat a guy like Nan Gongyu without using all his strength. If he was really annoyed, he could control Nan Gongyu in an instant so that the ancestral immortal in the void would not take action. What, you don't like it? Ningyu's frown made Nan Gongyu laugh sinisterly. Don't think that you can be so arrogant in front of me just because you are at the late stage of the Golden Immortal. When I was at the late stage of the Golden Immortal, you were still eating shit somewhere. Clatter! Nan Gongyu's words made the whole area fall silent. In particular, those experts from Semi-God City all held their breath. They knew that a fierce battle was inevitable. Who was Ningyu? He was a peerless expert who had killed Tuobashang in a domineering manner. He even dared to kill Tuobashang, let alone Nan Gongyu, the eldest son of the Nangong family. Very well. You've succeeded in irritating me. Ningyu took a deep breath and said lightly, "Since you want to eat shit so much, I'll satisfy you." The moment he said you, Ningyu turned into a shadow and rushed out in an instant. Ningyu was so fast that he came up to Nan Gongyu in the blink of an eye. It's just a small trick. Nan Gongyu did not take Ningyu seriously. He clenched his right fist and threw it out casually. Nan Gongyu did not know what had happened in Semi-God City. Therefore, he only used 50% of his strength in this punch. Bang! The next moment, his fist collided with Ningyu's. Crack! Puff! A crisp sound came from Nan Gongyu's body, accompanied by a scream like that of a pig being slaughtered. Swish! Ningyu did not stop after his successful strike. Instead, he chased after him. Lifting his right foot and stepping hard on Nan Gongyu's head, Ningyu said coldly, "Now I'll give you two choices. First, eat shit. Second, kneel down and kowtow to me to admit your mistake." You did not want to kill Nan Gongyu. After all, Nan Gongyu was backed by an ancestor immortal expert. If he really killed him, it would be a fight to the death. Although it would also be a fight to the death if Nan Gongyu knelt down and kowtowed to him to admit his mistake, it would at least give him some time. He was no match for an ancestor immortal expert now. But after a few more days of cultivation, it was still unknown who would win when he met an ancestor immortal expert. Bah! Nan Gongyu spat and said fiercely, "You're finished. No one in the world can save you." Clatter! Just as Ningyu thought. Seeing that Nan Gongyu was defeated in an instant, the ancestor immortal expert in the void immediately appeared. "Let go of Nan Gongyu!" The ancestor immortal expert shouted coldly. "This is the Tai divine sect, not a place for you to behave atrociously." Ancestor immortal. A real ancestor immortal expert. This time, Ningyu is in danger. Yeah, Ningyu could kill Tuobashang, who was a half-step to ancestor immortal. He might not be a match for an ancestor immortal expert. Let's wait and see. Maybe Ningyu can even defeat an ancestor immortal expert? That's right, let's wait and see. The appearance of the ancestor immortal expert immediately made the crowd discuss. Chapter 2150. Wouldn't I lose face if I let him go just because you asked me to? Under everyone's gaze, Ningyu slowly raised his head and said indifferently, "Nan Gongyu provoked me first. I've given him two choices. First, eat sh*t. Second, kneel down and kowtow to me to admit his mistake." Swish! Ningyu's arrogant words instantly changed the expressions of the martial artists in the distribution hall. The people of Semi-Divine City were fine. After all, They had seen Ning Yu's arrogance. However, the rest of the core disciples were so scared that they did not dare to breathe. Even though they had just entered the Tai divine sect, they were very clear about the division of the disciples. Nan Gongling was a half-step ancestral immortal, so he must be a heaven-level core disciple. As for the ancestral immortal expert, he was not a heaven-level core disciple, but an elder of the Tai divine sect. A person who had just entered the Tai divine sect dared to say such words to an elder. They had to admit that just this boldness alone was enough to make them look at him in a new light. "You're playing with fire," the ancestral immortal expert said with a cold face. "I'll give you one last chance. Crack!" As soon as the ancestral immortal expert finished speaking, Ning Yu moved his right foot slightly from Nan Gong-yu's head to his chest. A crisp sound was heard. One of Nan Gong-yu's ribs was broken on the spot. "I don't want others to negotiate with me," Ning Yu said indifferently. Ning Yu had grasped the ancestral immortal expert's lifeline. He did not dare to make a move because he was not sure if he could successfully save Nan Gong-yu. It would be fine if he could save Nan Gong-yu, but if he failed, he would be a sinner. After that, Nan Gong-yu's uncle would definitely not spare him. "What's your decision?" Ning Yu looked down at Nan Gong-yu and said, "Eat sh*t or kowtow to me." "Forget it." Before Nan Gong-yu could speak, Nan Gongling pulled Ning Yu's arm and whispered, "It's not wise to have a conflict with Nan Gong-yu at this time." Ning Yu thought about it and felt that what Nan Gongling said made sense. However, since he had already taken control of Nan Gong-yu, he would not let him go easily. "Well, I'll detain Nan Gong-yu for 3 days. 3 days later, I'll let him go." Ning Yu grabbed Nan Gong-yu's shoulder and left according to the instructions on the room card. After taking a few steps, Ning Yu stopped, looked back, and said, "I'll give you a friendly reminder. If you dare to follow me, I'll look at one of Nan Gong-yu's fingers every minute." "You are threatening me," the ancestor immortal said coldly. "If you really want to think of it that way, then treat it as a threat." Ning Yu shrugged his shoulders and left without looking back. Behind Ning Yu, Nan Gongling hesitated for a moment before following with large strides. Ning Yu had offended an ancestor immortal because of him. Therefore, he would definitely stand on Ning Yu's side. Sha! As for Nan Gong Fei, he followed under the surprised gazes of the crowd. Nan Gong Fei's true form was the Red Devil. How could he stay here? Damn it! Looking at Ning Yu's back as he left, the ancestor immortal could not help but curse. Nan Gong-yu's capture was a big mistake. I must tell Nan Gong-yu's uncle about this. The ancestor immortal's face was gloomy. Then he tore the void and disappeared. He could not make a decision on such a big matter. It was the right thing to let Nan Gong-yu's uncle deal with it. Swoosh! Before long, Ning Yu and Nan Gongling came to the upper-class human room. "Let's go together." Seeing that Nan Gongling wanted to go to another room, Ning Yu waved his hand and said, "You and Nan Gong-yu have a good talk in the inner room. I'll stay outside with Nan Gong Fei. By the way, I've sealed Nan Gong-yu's meridians. He's too weak to even truss a chicken now." Nan Gongling bowed deeply to Ning Yu and said, "I can't thank you enough. If there's anything you need me for in the future, just let me know. Get lost." Ning Yu kicked Nan Gongling's butt and said, "You'll be of great help to me if you cultivate to the golden immortal level as soon as possible." Nan Gongling was similar to Zhou Wen. Ning Yu had high hopes for Nan Gongling. From now on, he needed more people to manage Supreme Hall for him. Otherwise, wouldn't he be exhausted to death by himself? "Creak! Take it out." Closing the door, Ning Yu said to Nan Gong Fei, no, to be more precise, to the Red Devil, "You've really struck it big this time." Back in Half-God City, Ning Yu had noticed that the Red Devil was a little different. The Red Devil was impersonating Nan Gong Fei, and Nan Gong Fei was the #1 genius of the Nan Gong family after Nan Gong Yu. How could Nangong Xiongba and Yuan Ran not benefit from him when he entered the Tai Divine sect? What's the benefit? The Red Devil rolled his eyes and found a chair to sit on before taking out items from his bosom. What the F***? Seeing the items the Red Devil took out, Ning Yu couldn't help but curse. This was called no benefit? 10,000-year ice wood, 1,000-year fire spark, scarlet dragon beard, everything that the Red Devil took out was priceless. Hee, let me show you something good. Hong Emo chuckled and took out a pill from his chest pocket. This pill. Ning Yu's expression changed as he exclaimed, Ancestral immortal pill! Yes, it is. The Red Devil nodded and said, Nangong Xiongba isn't simple. He actually has something as good as the ancestral immortal pill. The so-called ancestral immortal pill didn't mean that one could become an ancestral immortal after consuming it. In other words, it could increase the chances of a half-step ancestral immortal expert reaching the ancestral immortal realm. Why did he give the ancestral immortal pill to you? Ning Yu asked. Logically speaking, if Nangong Xiongba had something as good as the ancestral immortal pill, he would definitely give it to Nangong Yu first, and not Nangong Fei. Of course, he wouldn't give the ancestral immortal pill to me. The Red Devil shook his head and said, This ancestral immortal pill was stolen by Nangong Fei's mother, Yuan Ran. Even Nangong Xiongba doesn't know about it. I see. Ning Yu was enlightened. No wonder. Nangong Xiongba was a half-step ancestral immortal. He would definitely keep something as good as the ancestral immortal pill for himself. Don't just stand there. With this ancestral immortal pill and other items, can you reach the pinnacle of the golden immortal realm in 3 days? Hong Fiend handed the ancestral immortal elixir to Ning Yu and asked. 3 days later, Nangong Yu's uncle will definitely come over personally. I know that Nangong Yu's uncle is at the mid-stage ancestral immortal realm. Mid-stage ancestral immortal realm? Ning Yu's expression turned grim. Even if he were to advance to the pinnacle of the golden immortal realm, he wouldn't stand a chance against a mid-stage ancestral immortal realm expert. Look at how scared you are of a mere mid-stage ancestral immortal realm expert. Suddenly, an arrogant voice rang out in the ears of Ning Yu and the Red Devil. Who? Chapter 2151. Buzz Buzz! As he shouted, the void trembled. Immediately after, a figure appeared out of thin air. Origin Creation Immortal. Ning Yu's mouth was slightly agape when he saw the figure that appeared out of thin air. He knew this figure. It was none other than Origin Creation Immortal. You still remember me. Origin Creation Immortal smiled and grabbed at the void with his right hand. Swoosh! Instantly, the Origin Creation Divine Staff broke free from Ning Yu's control and was grabbed by Origin Creation Immortal. Leaving the Origin Creation Divine Staff with you was the best choice I made. After sizing up the Origin Creation Divine Staff, Origin Creation Immortal said, Since you helped me keep the Origin Creation Divine Staff, I can help you do 3 things for free. As he spoke, Origin Creation Immortal erased the soul imprint that Ning Yu had left on the Origin Creation Divine Staff and put it away. Gulp! Origin Creation Immortal's actions made Ning Yu swallow a mouthful of saliva. To be able to erase the soul imprint so easily showed that Origin Creation Immortal was at least an ancestral immortal. In fact, it was very likely that he had reached the peak of the ancestral immortal realm. I want to know why you gave me the Origin Creation Divine Staff for safekeeping. After sorting out his thoughts, Ning Yu asked. To be honest, even now, Ning Yu was not sure if Origin Creation Immortal was a friend or a foe. Under such circumstances, he did not even dare to do 1 thing for him, let alone 3. The Origin Creation Divine Staff is neither a gold treasure nor an ancestral treasure. How could Origin Creation Immortal not know what Ningyu was thinking. He shook his head and said, "An ingot. The true grade of the origin creation divine staff is an ingot." Swoosh! Ningyu's heart skipped a beat. He knew what an ingot meant. An essence immortal was above an ancestral immortal. An ingot was a dharma treasure used by an essence immortal. Could it be that origin creation immortal was an essence immortal? At this thought, Ningyu's expression instantly became solemn. Currently, he could only hope that origin creation immortal was a friend and not an enemy. Otherwise, immortal creation could have killed him with a flip of his hand. Well, I'm going to leave the central divine dynasty soon, but before that, I'll give you some good fortune. Seeing that Ningyu was in a daze, elemental creation immortal's figure flashed and appeared in front of Ningyu. He stretched out his right hand and placed it on Ningyu's head. Empowerment. The fortune that immortal essence creation gave to Ningyu was empowerment. Generally speaking, only those whose cultivation far surpassed the other party would be able to perform empowerment. The benefits of empowerment were great. If nothing unexpected happened, Ningyu's cultivation would rise to the peak of the golden immortal realm at the very least. Swallow the ancestral immortal pill. Immortal origin creation said solemnly, "Kacha!" Ningyu did not hesitate as he quickly swallowed the ancestral immortal pill. Bang! Bang! As time passed, continuous muffled sounds came from Ningyu's body. Oh my God! Isn't this too exaggerated? Sensing the rise in Ningyu's aura, Hong Fiend could not help but curse. He knew that empowerment was sick, but he did not expect it to be this sick. In a short period of time, Ningyu's cultivation rose from the late-stage golden immortal realm to the peak of the late-stage golden immortal realm. Kacha! Suddenly, a crisp sound rang out. This crisp sound meant that Ningyu had broken through his limits and advanced from the late-stage golden immortal realm to the peak of the golden immortal realm. Of course, this was not what surprised Hong Fiend the most. What surprised Hong Fiend the most was that after his cultivation broke through to the peak of the golden immortal realm, immortal essence creation was still doing the empowerment for Ningyu. Is he going to let Ningyu break through to the ancestral immortal realm? Hong Fiend was puzzled. Breaking through to the ancestral immortal realm here would definitely have a huge impact. Moreover, Ningyu had just advanced from the mystic immortal realm to the golden immortal realm not long ago, and his foundation was not completely stable yet. Rushing to break through to the ancestral immortal realm would not be good. Immortal essence creation clearly knew this. He did not want to spoil things through excessive enthusiasm. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed. When the half-step ancestral immortal realm aura emanated from Ningyu's body, he instantly stopped. Half-step ancestral immortal realm. Forcefully raising Ningyu's cultivation to the half-step ancestral immortal realm was an opportunity that immortal essence creation had given to Ningyu. Let's meet again if fate wills it. Immortal essence creation retracted his palm and smiled at Ningyu. Then his figure gradually turned illusory and disappeared. Phew! After immortal essence creation left, Ningyu heaved a sigh of relief. For Ningyu, he would never know how terrifying immortal essence creation was before he advanced to the half-step ancestral immortal realm. Essence immortal? Perhaps immortal essence creation's true cultivation level was not at the essence immortal realm, but a higher level, the peerless immortal. As for whether the essence creation divine rod was an ingot, that was debatable. Of course, these matters were temporarily thrown to the back of Ningyu's mind. After all, there was still one more important matter for him. Before the distribution hall, he had said that he would imprison Nangongyu for 3 days. Now that 3 days had passed, Nangongyu's uncle would probably come to seek revenge. Ningyu, your strength! The red fiend sized up Ningyu and said hesitantly, "Could it be that I can already fight against early-stage, ancestral immortal experts?" Ningyu smiled and did not answer the Red Fiend's question. Early stage, ancestral immortal? When he advanced to the peak of the golden immortal realm, he could already fight against early stage, ancestral immortal experts. Now that he had advanced to the half-step ancestral immortal realm, he could even fight against mid-stage ancestral immortal experts. The benefits that immortal essence creation had given him were not as simple as empowerment. Essence immortal laws. Immortal essence creation had left an essence immortal law in his body. Rumble. At this moment, a deafening rumble suddenly resounded in the surroundings. Let's go. Ningyu's expression changed slightly. In a flash, his figure flashed, and he left the room. He did not have to think to know who it was. 3 days are up. Hurry up and release Nangongyu. Outside the room, the ancestor immortal expert said fiercely with a cold expression. 3 days ago, Nangongyu was captured. When he told Nangongyu's uncle about it, he flew into a rage. However, Nangongyu's uncle did not take the initiative to look for trouble with Ningyu. After all, Ningyu was a human class core disciple, and Nangongyu's uncle was an elder of the Tai divine sect. If news of an elder bullying a disciple spread, it would be disadvantageous to him. Therefore, Nangongyu's uncle gave the ancestor immortal expert a chance. If he could rescue Nangongyu and cripple Ningyu, he could let bygones be bygones. Otherwise, he could get out of the Tai divine sect. Due to this reason, the ancestor immortal expert immediately came to look for Ningyu once the 3 days were up. Don't. Due to his anger, the ancestor immortal expert stomped his right foot on the ground, causing it to sink. Go and bring Nangongyu out. Ningyu glanced at the ancestor immortal expert and turned around. Swish! The Red Fiend understood and left in a flash. Not long after, the Red Fiend returned with Nangongyu. Nangongling also returned with Nangongyu. However, at this moment, Nangongling's cultivation had advanced from the half-step golden immortal realm to the golden immortal realm. Not bad. Sensing Nangongling's cultivation, Ningyu nodded in satisfaction. Strictly speaking, Nangongling was more talented than Nangongyu. Chapter 2152. Let Nangongyu go. The ancestor immortal shouted when he saw Nangongyu being taken out. 3 days are up. You can't go back on your word. 1 million ancestral crystals. Ningyu rolled his eyes. I'll let Nangongyu go as long as you can give me 1 million ancestral crystals. Hearing Ningyu's words, the Red Devil couldn't help but laugh out loud. 1 million ancestral crystals? Even a middle-stage ancestor immortal expert might not be able to take out so many ancestral crystals, let alone this early-stage ancestor immortal expert. As expected, the ancestor immortal expert's face darkened. He had thought that he could take Nangongyu away after 3 days. Now it seemed that he was a little naive. Who was Ningyu? He had offended Sun Lianyu, Zhou Shun, and Xiong Hu. Sun Lianyu and the others might not be strong, but they were backed by ancestor immortal experts. If Ningyu dared to offend them, he would offend him. The ancestor immortal expert had no choice but to drag Nangongyu's uncle out and said coldly, Nangongyu's uncle is Situ Suzuki. I advise you to think carefully before you speak. Are you threatening me? Ningyu raised his eyebrows. He lifted his right foot and stepped on Nangongyu's chest. Crack! A crisp sound rang out. One of Nangongyu's ribs was broken on the spot. Ah! Nangongyu screamed like a pig being slaughtered. I'm so angry. The ancestor immortal expert trembled with anger at Nangongyu's miserable condition. If he was not afraid that Nangongyu would be harmed, he would have killed Ningyu. Wangba, save me! Nangongyu screamed and begged the ancestor immortal expert for help. Uft! Hong Emo couldn't help laughing when he heard the ancestor immortal expert's name. Why did you have to call yourself Wang Ba of all things? The world was really big and full of strange things. Let Nangong you go, or you'll be in deep trouble. Wang Ba, no, he should be Wang Ba. Be careful, or I'll tell the law enforcement hall about this. Whoosh! As the 3 words law enforcement hall resounded, the expressions of the surrounding martial artists changed. In the Tai Divine sect, the terrifying ones were not the elders, because in public the elders did not dare to do anything to the disciples. The most terrifying people in the Tai Divine sect were the people from the law enforcement hall. Those people didn't care about the consequences. As long as someone dared to cause trouble in the sect, they would immediately appear. Even if I tell the law enforcement hall, you won't be able to do anything. Ning Yu said lightly, "This is my residence. As an elder of the Tai Divine sect, how dare you break into my residence without permission? Do you want to be caught in the law enforcement hall?" You. Wang Ba's expression changed slightly. Ning Yu was right. The Tai Divine sect had a rule that unless it was necessary, elders could not enter the residence of core disciples at will. As for the inner and outer court disciples, there was no such requirement. Obediently hand over 1,000,000 ancestral crystals. Otherwise, Nangong, you will stay here forever. Ning Yu waved his hand and said, "My time is limited. I'll give you 10 minutes to consider." Ka. Wang Ba clenched his fists, making cracking sounds. He was very angry. But anger aside, he had no other choice at this time. The total amount of ancestral crystals he had was only 800,000. Gritting his teeth, Wang Ba said, "I only have 800,000 ancestral crystals with me. I'll exchange 800,000 ancestral crystals for Nangong Yu. I'm sorry, but I have my principles." Ning Yu shrugged, expressing his disapproval. Although Ning Yu looked calm on the surface, in fact, he was really surprised. 1,000,000 ancestral crystals was just a casual remark. He didn't expect Wang Ba to have 800,000. It seemed that every elder of the Tai Divine sect was very rich. Okay, Wang Ba gritted his teeth and had to borrow from everywhere. Fortunately, Ning Yu had given him 10 minutes. 10 minutes was enough for him to borrow 200,000 ancestral crystals from his gang of scoundrels. In less than 10 minutes. In the 8th minute, Wang Ba returned with 200,000 ancestral crystals. "Here you go." With a flick of his wrist and his 800,000 ancestral crystals, Wang Ba threw 1,000,000 ancestral crystals to Ning Yu. Pa! Ning Yu raised his right hand and caught the storage bag firmly. "Let him go." After checking the number of ancestral crystals in the storage bag, Ning Yu waved at the Red Devil. The Red Devil understood and kicked Nangong Yu's butt. "Ning Yu, I'll remember you." Before leaving, Nangong Yu glared at Ning Yu before leaving. Ning Yu touched his nose and didn't say anything. Nangong Yu was only a half-step ancestral immortal. So what if he remembered him? "Stay here and cultivate for the time being. I'm going out for a while." Ning Yu instructed Nangong Ling and left with the Red Devil. Ning Yu didn't forget his purpose of coming here. He had entered the Tai Divine sect to find Zhao Rui. After all, the Dark Emperor Ning Lu and his parents were all in the storage ring. If he found Zhao Rui, he could find the storage ring. If he found the storage ring, he could find the Dark Emperor, Ning Lu, and his parents. Where could he find Zhao Rui? Obviously, he had to find Zhao Exan first. Swish! However, Ning Yu had just left his residence and hadn't gone far when he ran into Zhao Exan, who was sprinting towards him. Zhao Exan looked slightly flustered and even a little angry. "What's wrong?" Ning Yu frowned and asked. Although Zhao Exan was a late-stage golden immortal, her overall strength was on par with a half-step ancestral immortal. The matter that made Zhao Exan angry should be more troublesome. Zhao Exen didn't beat around the bush with Ningyu and went straight to the point. I just received news that your two friends, the Dark Emperor and Ninglu, have been recruited. Conscripted? Ningyu frowned slightly and asked, "What's going on?" Also, apart from the Dark Emperor and Ninglu, were my parents. Don't worry, my sister is carrying the storage ring with her. Only the Dark Emperor and Ninglu have come out. The others are cultivating in peace inside. Zhao Exayan explained, the Dark Emperor and Ninglu have both cultivated to the golden immortal realm and become human-grade core disciples. The recruitment that I'm talking about is that every once in a while, the Tai Divine sect will send a large batch of human-grade core disciples to fight against the extraterrestrial demons. Originally, the Dark Emperor and Ninglu would not be recruited. But I just received news that for some reason, the Dark Emperor and Ninglu are on the list. This is really troublesome. It was obvious that Zhao Exayan was extremely anxious. How troublesome? Ningyu asked. The extraterrestrial demons are all extremely powerful. In the past, the survival rate of the disciples who were recruited was less than 1%. Zhao Exayan said, "When are we going to fight against the extraterrestrial demons?" Ningyu asked. Now, Zhao Exayan gritted her teeth. "Bring me there." Ningyu's expression was cold. If they were chosen through normal means, he wouldn't be able to say anything. After all, there were so many people who were chosen to fight against the extraterrestrial demons. He couldn't be an exception. Chapter 2153. The mission hall of the Tai Divine sect generally had two duties. First, he was responsible for issuing missions for the disciples of the Tai Divine sect to choose from. Once the mission was completed, one would receive varying amounts of contribution points. These contribution points could be exchanged for a lot of cultivation resources in the Tai Divine sect. It was to the extent that as long as you had enough contribution points, you could even obtain the blessing of certain elders. Secondly, he would be responsible for issuing enlistment missions. The so-called conscription mission was a compulsory mission that everyone had to participate in. Any disciple who was recruited, no matter what happened, had to participate in the mission. They could not be absent. The mission hall was unusually lively today, because today the mission hall had issued another recruitment mission to head to the outer realms and fight against the extraterrestrial demons. The recruitment this time was a little special. It was only for human realm core disciples. All the human realm core disciples who had been in the Tai Divine sect for more than 1,000 years were recruited. Let me tell you some things to take note of. The one in charge of issuing missions was the Vice Hall Master of the Missions Hall. His cultivation state was at the Ancestor Immortal Middle Stage, and his name was Wang Cheng. Looking around the entire missions hall, Wang Cheng said in a deep voice, "This mission is rather difficult. Every time you kill an otherworldly demon at the heavenly immortal realm, you will receive 1 contribution point. Golden immortal realm otherworldly demons will receive 100 contribution points. Ancestral immortal realm otherworldly demons will receive 100 contribution points. 10,000 contribution points. Of course, I'm not encouraging you to go kill ancestor immortal level sky fiends. That's because none of you are capable of doing so. Besides, which one of you has been in the Tai Divine sect for less than 1,000 years? Sha. As soon as Wang Cheng finished speaking, 2 figures walked out side by side. If Ningyu was here, he would definitely discover that one of them was the Dark Emperor and the other was Ninglu. It's been less than 1,000 years since we entered the Tai Divine sect, Ninglu said in a low voice. Strictly speaking, it should only be a few months, the Dark Emperor said. Looking at Ninglu and the Dark Emperor, Wang Cheng didn't say anything. Troublesome. It was extremely troublesome. He also knew that Ninglu and the Dark Emperor hadn't reached 1,000 years and didn't comply with the rules. However, this matter was personally arranged by Dao Yi, so he couldn't make the decision himself. Holy Sun Dao-I knew that the Dark Emperor was a heaven-devouring dog and had always wanted to make it his mount. Unfortunately, the Dark Emperor's temper was more fiery, and he would rather die than submit. Thus, Holy Sun Dao-I arranged for them to fight against the otherworldly demons in order to force them to compromise. After thinking for a moment, Wang Cheng said, "You can consider Holy Sun Dao-Yi's matter." To be honest, Wang Cheng did not dare to offend the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu too much. He knew very well that the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu were Zhao Rui's people. Although Zhao Rui wasn't a holy sun, she would definitely become a holy sun in the future. Moreover, even if Zhao Rui wasn't a saint, some of the older saints wouldn't be a match for her. If he provoked these two people, he would have to bear the consequences. There's no need to think about it. We're willing to fight against the extraterrestrial demons. When he saw Wang Cheng's hesitant expression, Ning Lu waved his hand and said, "I hope you can tell Zhao Rui about this. Cancel the meeting in 3 days, and we'll go see her after we return from the Outer Rim battlefield." Whoosh! Wang Cheng's expression changed. Ning Lu's words were clearly a threat. What would happen if Zhao Rui found out that her people were forced to enter the Outer Rim battlefield? At that time, wouldn't Zhao Rui skin him alive? Even though he was a mid-stage ancestral immortal, if he really fought Zhao Rui, he would only have less than a 30% chance of winning. I hope you guys won't make things difficult for me. I'm just doing my job, Wang Cheng said with a deep voice. He didn't want to offend either side. That was because he couldn't afford to offend either side. Doing my job. Right then, an indifferent voice sounded from outside the mission's hall. Whoosh! Whoosh! The Dark Emperor and Ning Lu's expressions changed when they heard that. They hurriedly looked outside. Dong! 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 3 sets of heavy footsteps sounded in their ears. Thereafter, 3 figures slowly appeared in their line of sight. Ning Yu! The Dark Emperor and Ning Lu's eyes widened in disbelief. They hadn't expected Ning Yu to come. Swoosh! Instantly, the Dark Emperor pounced onto Ning Yu like a ferocious dog. Although Ning Lu didn't do that, one could tell that he was extremely excited. Don't worry. Since I'm here, I'll definitely do my job. Ning Yu patted the Dark Emperor's head and said, "The 2 of you are living well. It hasn't been long, and both of you have advanced to Golden Immortal Realm." Why you? The Dark Emperor's eyes widened as he stared at Ning Yu in disbelief. When Ning Yu came out earlier on, he was too excited and didn't notice Ning Yu's cultivation. Now that he sensed the terrifying aura that Ning Yu was giving off, he was dumbfounded. He thought that he was really amazing for advancing to Golden Immortal Realm in just a few months. Who would have thought that Ning Yu was even more terrifying than him? Oh my! Judging from the aura that Ning Yu was giving off, Ning Yu's cultivation should have reached the peak of Golden Immortal Realm, right? Truly, it was infuriating to compare a dog to a human. The Dark Emperor's face was filled with disappointment. However, even though he was disappointed, the Dark Emperor was excited. Ever since Zhao Rui went into seclusion, he and Ning Lu had been bullied by many. Even with the help of Zhao Rui's sister, Zhao Exan, the effect was minimal. After all, Zhao Rui was only a late Golden Immortal. Compared to those older heaven-grade core disciples, she was much weaker. In my opinion, let's just forget about this matter. Ning Lu was more rational, and he lowered his voice. Wang Cheng is at mid-ancestral immortal realm, and he isn't someone to be trifled with. Of course, there is also a saint called Dao-I. He is the most troublesome one. Dao-I, Ning Yu frowned slightly and turned to look at Wang Cheng. I hope that you will do your job properly. Who are you? Because he wasn't sure of Ning Yu's identity, Wang Cheng merely frowned and didn't get into a conflict with Ning Yu. In Tai God sect, his status was only average. He couldn't afford to offend some of the older heaven-grade core disciples and saints. Ning Yu didn't look old, and there was a high chance that he had connections with some of the older saints. It was best to be careful when dealing with such a person. Human-grade core disciple Ning Yu. Ning Yu said calmly. Human-grade core disciple? Wang Cheng was stunned. He then looked at Zhao Xian beside Ning Yu and instantly understood. He was wondering who Ning Yu was. So, he was from Zhao Rui's faction. After sorting out his thoughts, Wang Cheng said, I wasn't the one who decided on the name list, so there's no point in looking for me. Wang Cheng looked like he didn't want to offend anyone. Then let the useful ones come out. Ning Yu crossed his arms in front of his chest and said, after obtaining an essence immortal law from immortal creation, Ning Yu was filled with confidence. Originally, after advancing to half-step ancestral immortal, he could only fight or kill mid-ancestral immortal realm martial artists. Chapter 2154. Humph. This is the mission hall. It's not a place for you to behave atrociously. Wang Cheng grunted coldly and said, one more word and even you'll be summoned to the outer realm battlefield. Wang Cheng was a very practical person. He did not want to offend Zhao Rui or Dao Yi. However, in his heart, Dao Yi was the most important person. After all, Dao Yi was already a holy son, and Zhao Rui was trying to become a holy son. Dong! Right after Wang Cheng spoke, a cultivator appeared at the entrance of the mission hall. Dao Er. This cultivator was none other than Dao Yi's younger brother, Dao Er. Unlike Dao Yi, Dao Er's talent was not particularly outstanding. He was still a little short of becoming a saint. Even so, Dao Er was ranked in the top 10 among the heaven-ranked core disciples. What happened? Dao Er stood still in the mission hall and said lightly, the gate to the extraterritorial battlefield is open. Why don't you send them over? Someone said to do business. Wang Cheng quickly said, Dao Er was a half-step ancestral immortal. In terms of overall combat strength, Dao Er was slightly stronger than Wang Cheng. At a time like this, Wang Cheng would definitely side with Dao Er. Looks like there's something wrong with your position as a vice palace master. Every Tom, Dick, or Harry can jump over your head. Dao Er said calmly, my brother asked me to bring you a message. The two of them must be sent to the extraterritorial battlefield. Nothing must go wrong. As he spoke, Dao Er extended his right hand and pointed at the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu. After saying that, Dao Er turned around and left. Obviously, Dao Er didn't want to stay here for too long. From the beginning to the end, Dao Er did not even look at Ning Yu. I don't want to say the same thing twice. Ning Yu's expression was still the same. He crossed his arms in front of his chest and said lightly, Xiao. Suddenly, Dao Er turned around and clenched his right hand into a fist. With a violent gust of wind, he punched at Ning Yu. Voila! Dao Er's sudden attack caused the surrounding martial artists to retreat, not daring to approach. Even Zhao Xian's expression was solemn. The half-step ancestral immortal Dao Er's overall strength was enough to rank within the top 10 of the Heaven Tier core disciples. Even two Zhao Xian would not be a match for Dao Er. Bang! Under everyone's gaze, Ning Yu also clenched his right fist and pushed out lightly. In an instant, a crisp voice rang out. Soon after, a figure was sent flying like a kite with a broken string. Kacha! The door of the mission hall was instantly smashed into pieces. What? Dao Er, one of the top 10 heaven-ranked core disciples, was defeated by a single punch. This is impossible, absolutely impossible. Are you blind? Dao Er has already been defeated, and you still say it's impossible? Gulp. Zhao Xian stood still and couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. She was originally worried about Ning Yu, but the terrifying strength Ning Yu had displayed truly made her heart tremble. One must know that back in the half-god city, Ningyu had found it rather difficult to take on the half-step ancestral immortal Tuobashin. How long had it been? Ningyu could actually defeat Dao Er, who was ranked in the top 10 among the heaven-ranked core disciples. I will tear you apart. Dao Er let out a furious roar. He had attacked Ningyu because he felt that Ningyu was too arrogant. Therefore, he had only used half of his strength. He had thought that a punch with half of his strength could easily defeat Ningyu, who was a half-step ancestral immortal. To his surprise, a punch with half of his strength had been utterly defeated. There are plenty of people who want to tear me apart. Who do you think you are? Ningyu shrugged and said, Quickly fuck off before I get angry. Otherwise, don't blame me for being merciless. Not showing mercy? Ha ha ha. Dao Er's mouth opened slightly before he threw his head back and laughed maniacally. After laughing, Dao Er's tone changed and he said viciously, I only used 10% of my strength just now. What's there to be proud of when you defeated me with only 10% of my strength? You won't be so lucky with my next punch. As soon as he finished speaking, Dao Er stomped his feet on the ground and dashed forward again. This time, Dao Er had learned his lesson. He gathered all the immortal qi in his body on his wrist and threw a punch at Ningyu's head. This punch was extremely powerful. Even a true ancestral immortal might not be able to withstand it. Watch out, the Dark Emperor hurriedly reminded. Dao Er is very powerful. You can't fight him head-on. Sins committed by heaven can be forgiven, but sins committed by oneself cannot be avoided. Ningyu's expression turned cold as he secretly wrapped the essence immortal laws around his fist. His punch brought with it a violent gust of wind and collided with Dao Er's fist. Crack! The two collided. A crisp sound rang out. Then Dao Er screamed like a pig being butchered. My hand! Yui! Dao Er's face was filled with disbelief as he looked down at his broken fist. He would never have imagined this. His full strength had been defeated again, and it was even more thorough than the first time. His failure this time had not only caused him to lose face, but even his fist had been smashed into pieces. How dare you! Wang Cheng jumped in front of Dao Er and pointed at Ningyu. His brother is the saint Dao Yi. You'll be hunted down by his brother for hurting him. Dao Yi was a vengeful person. His younger brother, Dao Er, had been injured in the mission hall. Wang Cheng was definitely responsible for that. Therefore, Wang Cheng was very unhappy with Ningyu. Let's go. Ningyu could not be bothered with Wang Cheng. He waved at the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu and said, Follow me back. Ningyu did not want the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu to take the risk in the extraterritorial battlefield. On the way here, he had already learned that the extraterritorial battlefield was extremely dangerous. The human tier core disciples that were selected this time were all cannon fodder. Even ancestral immortals would most likely die if they went to the extraterritorial battlefield, let alone golden immortals. Stop, Wang Cheng said fiercely. You can leave, but the two of them must stay. Since he had already offended Ningyu, he might as well completely offend Ningyu and stand on Dao Yi's side. Ningyu continued walking out of the mission hall as if he did not hear Wang Cheng's words. Swish! At that moment, a figure tore through the void and appeared in front of Ningyu. It was the mission hall lord, Shen Hui. What's going on? Shen Hui frowned when he saw the wretched Dao Yi and the furious Wang Cheng. Why haven't you sent them to the extraterritorial battlefield? Hall Lord, Wang Cheng hurriedly said. Someone is obstructing us. He wants to take away the recruited human tier core disciples. With that, Wang Cheng pointed at Ningyu and continued. It's him. He wants to take away 2 of the recruited human tier core disciples. Swish! Shen Hui looked at Ningyu. For some unknown reason, he faintly sensed a terrifying aura from Ningyu. However, this aura disappeared in a flash. Why do you want to take them away? Unlike Wang Cheng, Shen Hui did not flare up immediately. I have to ask you about this. The two of them entered the Tai Divine sect for less than a year. Why were they recruited? Chapter 2155. Shen Hui frowned slightly when he heard Ning Yu's words. Then he turned to look at Wang Cheng. He did not participate much in the selection of recruits, and instead gave most of the authority to Wang Cheng. After all, the recruitment had strict rules. Human-level core disciples who had entered the Tai Divine sect for 1,000 years. Now that there was a problem, he naturally had to question Wang Cheng. Don't listen to his nonsense. Wang Cheng's eyes flickered as Shen Hui stared at him. Then he said in a deep voice, the two of them have already reached 1,000 years. If you don't believe me, you can check the dossier. Wang Cheng had absolute confidence in this. Since Dao Yi dared to arrange for the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu to enter the extraterritorial battlefield, everything had been resolved. For example, he could change the dossier to say that the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu had long entered the Tai Divine sect and became human-level core disciples 1,000 years ago. Go get the dossier. Shen Hui waved his hand. Normally, Shen Hui would not care about such a small matter. After all, there would be something fishy about every recruitment. However, Shen Hui sensed a terrifying aura from Ningyu. It was this aura that made him take it seriously. It was not that he was afraid of Ningyu, but he felt that he could not disappoint the genius disciples. Sha! Before long, Wang Cheng brought the dossier over. Whoosh! He casually flipped through the dossier and found the records of the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu. He passed it to Shen Hui. After taking the dossier, Shen Hui found a problem with just one glance. The dossier from 1,000 years ago was quite old, so the records looked a little old. However, the dossier that Wang Cheng brought was clearly added recently. In an instant, Shen Hui made up his mind. Glancing at Dao Er, who was sitting paralyzed on the ground, Shen Hui said indifferently, "Is Dao Yi involved in this?" Swoosh! Wang Cheng's expression changed. He knew that since Shen Hui asked that, it meant that Shen Hui had decided to interfere. Dao Yi is involved. After sorting out his thoughts, Wang Cheng lowered his voice and said, Dao Yi named the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu to bring them to the extraterritorial battlefield. There was nothing I could do. Let them go, Shen Hui said. Let them go. Wang Cheng was slightly stunned as he looked at Shen Hui in surprise. Normally, Shen Hui wouldn't even be willing to offend a heaven-rank core disciple. Why did he have to offend Holy Son Dao Yi this time? Could it be Ning Yu's background was even greater than Dao Yi's? Whoosh! Thinking of this, Wang Cheng's face turned ashen. He was already standing on Dao Yi's side. Once Ning Yu's background became stronger, wouldn't he be implicated as well? Wang Cheng turned to look at Dao Er. Whoever tied the bell should untie it. Dao Er was Dao Yi's younger brother, so it would be better for Dao Er to participate in this matter. Old fox! Dao Er knew exactly what Wang Cheng was thinking. He cursed the old fox in his heart, then said in a deep voice, Hall Master Shin, since the file clearly records their identities, in my opinion, it's better for you to do business. Shen Hui frowned and said, Are you lecturing me? I don't deserve to be lectured. I'm just delivering a message for my brother. Dao Er said indifferently. With Dao Yi's support, Dao Er was full of confidence. However, when he saw Ning Yu crack his neck, he instantly wilted. Shen Hui was afraid of Dao Yi, but that didn't mean Ning Yu was. If Ning Yu was really afraid of Dao Yi, he wouldn't have attacked him just now. Can I have a look at the dossier? At that moment, Ning Yu's voice rang in everyone's ears. Hearing this, Shen Hui flicked his wrist and threw the file to Ning Yu. Ning Yu placed his right hand flat on the file and slowly brushed past the names of the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu. Swoosh! In the blink of an eye, the names of the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu disappeared. The most important thing was that after the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu's names disappeared, Dao Yi, Dao Er, and Wang Cheng's names appeared on the dossier. Moreover, when writing these names, Ning Yu used some essence, immortal laws. In other words, unless an essence immortal appeared, no one could cross off the names. I also think that we should do things according to the rules. After doing all this, Ning Yu returned the file to Xin Hui and said, Dao Yi, Dao Er, Wang Cheng, these three cannot be given special treatment. They should go to the extraterritorial battlefield together. Boom! Ning Yu's words caused Wang Cheng and Dao Er's expressions to change drastically. Other than them, even Xin Hui's expression was a little ugly. Initially, Xin Hui wanted to fight for Ning Yu, but Ning Yu's performance had indeed disappointed him. In that case, let's do things according to the rules. Xin Hui shook his head and said, Hurry up and send them to the extraterritorial battlefield. Let's go back with me. Ning Yu said to the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu, Stop! Wang Cheng said coldly, Have you lost your mind? Do things according to the rules. The two of them are going to the extraterritorial battlefield. Ning Yu stopped and looked back at Wang Cheng. Is your head rusty? If it's rusty, you should see a doctor. Or rather, you should see your eyes. I seriously suspect that there's something wrong with your eyes. Something wrong with my eyes? It's clearly written on the paper. Wang Cheng said coldly as he pointed at the file in Shen Hui's hand. However, Wang Cheng's words came to an abrupt halt. There was no other reason. He saw his name on the file. Not only him, but Dao Yi and Dao Er's names were also on the file. What was going on? He was the deputy temple master of the mission hall. How could he be a human-level core disciple? Also, Dao Yi was a holy son, while Dao Er was a heaven-level core disciple. Both of them had badges. Why would their names appear on the file? You. Wang Cheng pointed at Ning Yu. He wanted to say something, but he realized that he had nothing to say. He wanted to do things according to the rules. Now that his name had appeared on the file, didn't that mean he was also going to the extraterritorial battlefield? What's wrong? Shen Hui glanced at the file when he saw Wang Cheng's furious expression. Swoosh! That glance left Shen Hui dumbfounded. He had seen the contents of the dossier very clearly. Why would there be a change? Reaching out with his right hand, Shen Hui tried to erase the name on the file. TSK. However, no matter how hard Shen Hui tried, he was unable to erase the name on the file. Wang Cheng, I need an explanation. Shen Hui threw the file fiercely at Wang Cheng. I've only left the mission hall for a short period of time, and you've already caused such a mess. If you can't resolve this properly, I'll report this to the sect and remove you from your position as Deputy Temple Master. Boom! Wang Cheng's mind exploded when he heard Shen Hui's cold words. Even though he was a mid-stage ancestral immortal, his status in Tai Yi Divine sect would plummet if he lost his position as Deputy Temple Master of the Mission Hall. The Mission Hall was a lucrative job. The reason why he was able to cultivate to the mid-stage ancestral immortal realm was mostly because of the bribes from his disciples. If he lost his position as Deputy Temple Master, he would have a hard time in Tai Yi Divine sect. Ning Yu, it must be Ning Yu's doing. Chapter 2156. Wang Cheng seemed to have grasped the last life-saving straw and began to pour dirty water on Ning Yu crazily. As long as he could blame everything on Ning Yu, he would be able to escape successfully. Since he had already offended Ning Yu, he would definitely offend him thoroughly. In any case, Dao Yi would definitely appear in the end. Idiot. Ning Yu looked at Wang Cheng and said indifferently, You can't even be fair. Seems like your position as a deputy hall master was obtained through bribery. Don't slander me here. Wang Cheng said fiercely, "You're just a human-level core disciple, and yet you dare to speak to me in such a manner. Seems like I'll have to teach you a lesson." The moment he said that, Wang Cheng's figure flashed, and he charged towards Ningyu. Shin Hui merely frowned slightly when he saw Wang Cheng attack, but did not interfere. He was weighing the pros and cons. If Ningyu's strength was comparable to Wang Cheng's, he would have to side with Ningyu even if he offended Dao Yi. However, if Ningyu was defeated, he would not care about this matter anymore. After all, Dao Yi could not defeat a mid-stage ancestral immortal when he was a half-step ancestral immortal. Watch out! Zhao Xian and the Dark Emperor warned hurriedly when they saw Wang Cheng charging towards Ningyu. "It's fine." Ningyu turned back and smiled at Zhao Xian and the others. He clenched his right fist and punched out. Pist pist. Ningyu used his full strength in that punch. Of course, Ningyu did not use his full strength and did not use his essence immortal laws. His fist rubbed against the void, and a sizzling sound could be heard. Bang! The next moment, a crisp sound rang out. Swash! Swash! Two figures retreated hurriedly. From the distance they retreated. Ningyu and Wang Cheng were evenly matched, and neither of them had the upper hand. Pissed! The fact that Ningyu and Wang Cheng were evenly matched caused everyone in the hall, including Xin Hui, to gasp. A half-step ancestral immortal and a mid-stage ancestral immortal were evenly matched? You should know. Even a true saint might not be able to go against a middle-stage ancestor immortal realm martial artist. The strength that Ningyu had displayed was completely comparable to some veteran saints. This is infuriating. Wang Cheng was so angry that his nose became crooked. He was the deputy hall master of the mission's hall, a mid-stage ancestral immortal, and yet he was unable to defeat a half-step ancestral immortal core disciple. If this matter were to spread out, where would he put his face? Clenching his fists tightly, Wang Cheng attacked again. This time, not only did he use his full strength, he even burned his blood essence to increase his combat power. Whoosh! However, before Ningyu could make a move, Shen Hui's figure flashed and blocked in front of him. Shen Hui waved his sleeves and instantly forced Wang Cheng to retreat. If the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu don't meet the requirements, they don't have to go to the foreign battlefield. Shen Hui said indifferently, "As for the matter of the messy names on the dossier, I will investigate it thoroughly." But Wang Cheng hesitated. "No buts." Shen Hui said, "Immediately bring the people who meet the recruitment conditions to the extraterritorial battlefield. If the opportunity is delayed, I will hold you responsible." "Yes." Wang Cheng nodded his head solemnly. He then glared at Ningyu and led the group of human core disciples to the extraterritorial battlefield. "Are you satisfied?" Shen Hui turned to look at Ningyu and asked. "Hall Master is indeed meticulous." Ningyu smiled and did not comment. The fact that he could become the Hall Master of the Missions Hall was enough to prove that Shen Hui was extraordinary. To offend Shen Hui and rope him in, it had to be said that Shen Hui's move was a little dangerous. Shen Hui did not mind. He pointed to the back of the missions hall and said, "Let's talk somewhere else." "No problem." Ning Yu gestured for Zhao Xian to bring the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu back first. As for him, he followed Shen Hui to the back of the missions hall, where Shen Hui lived. "You were a little rash." Within the room, Shen Hui shook his head and said, "You can offend Wang Cheng and even cripple him, but you shouldn't have injured Dao Er." "What do you mean?" Ningyu knew that Shen Hui would not speak without thinking. He knew that Dao Yi was the chosen of the Tai divine sect and was very strong, but from what Shen Hui said, things did not seem so simple. "You know Zhao Rui, right?" Shen Hui did not answer Ningyu directly. Instead, he said, "In 3 months, Zhao Rui will be promoted to a son of saint." Logically speaking, when Zhao Rui is promoted to a son of saint, the temple will send the weakest son of Saint to spar with her. As long as she can win, she will be promoted successfully. After what you did, I'm afraid Dao Yi will cause trouble. Ning Yu's expression changed slightly. If Zhao Rui failed to ascend because of him, he would feel guilty. What are the chances of Zhao Rui winning against Dao Yi? Ning Yu asked. Less than 10%. Shen Hui shook his head. Zhao Rui is in seclusion to break through to the ancestral immortal realm. Once she succeeds, she will even be able to fight against a late-stage ancestral immortal realm chosen. But the most important thing is that Dao Yi has already gone to the extraterritorial battlefield. Given Dao Yi's strength, he will definitely be able to return from the extraterritorial battlefield. Once he returns, his cultivation will at least be at the peak stage of the ancestral immortal realm. Ning Yu's expression changed. No wonder Dao Yi wanted Dark Emperor and Ning Lu to enter the extraterritorial battlefield. So he had gone there himself. You mean you want me to go to the foreign battleground as well? Ning Yu looked at Shen Hui and continued to ask. That's right. Shen Hui said, I want you to make a trip to the extraterritorial battlefield. Firstly, to stop Dao Yi from reaching the peak stage of the ancestral immortal realm. Secondly, to find something for me. The fox's tail is finally showing. Ning Yu thought to himself. Then he asked calmly, what is it? The heart of the sky demon. Shan Hui said solemnly, in the depths of the extraterritorial battlefield, there is a mountain valley. There's a heart of the sky demon in that valley. I need you to bring it back to me. Benefits. Ning Yu went straight to the point. Since Shan Hui wanted his help, he had to give him benefits. No one would do anything that wasn't beneficial to them. Therefore, a smile appeared on Shan Hui's face when he heard Ning Yu's request, and he said, From today onward, I'll ensure the safety of your friends until you bring back the heavenly demon's heart. Not bad, but it's not enough. Ning Yu looked at Shen Hui and said calmly, Ensure the safety of his two friends? Ning Yu was no fool. Shen Hui's words were purely a threat to him. Of course. Shen Hui flicked his wrist, and a jade bottle appeared in his hand. There were 3 elixirs in the jade bottle. Here are 3 ancestral immortal elixirs. Shan Hui threw the jade bottle to Ning Yu and said, After this is done, there are 3 more ancestral immortal elixirs. Shan Hui knew that Ning Yu was a half-step ancestral immortal realm expert. Generally speaking, if a half-step ancestral immortal expert wanted to advance to the ancestral immortal realm, they would not only need a large amount of resources, they would also need ancestral immortal elixirs. Shen Hui thought that he had Ning Yu in his hands. 3 ancestral immortal elixirs, in addition to the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu. He did not believe that Ning Yu would not give in. Chapter 21:57. 3 ancestral immortal pills. Looking at the 3 pills in the jade bottle, Ning Yu frowned and asked, Aren't you afraid that I'll take the sky demon's heart for myself? To be honest, Ning Yu did not know what the sky demon's heart was. However, for Shen Hui, a late-stage ancestral immortal, to think so highly of it, it was definitely not an ordinary item. Everyone wanted good things. If the sky demon's heart was really useful to Ning Yu did not mind taking it for himself. Hee, I believe you won't do that. Shen Hui smiled and flicked his wrist, tossing another jade bottle to Ning Yu. Pa! Ning Yu raised his right hand and caught the jade bottle. Shen Hui's voice sounded. This bottle was specially developed by me. Without it, you won't be able to take away the sky demon's heart. Since it was developed by me, it will naturally listen to my orders. As long as you leave the extraterritorial battlefield, it will immediately break free from your control and return to my side. Hearing that, Ning Yu was slightly stunned. He released his perception and started to observe the jade bottle carefully. A while later, Ning Yu retracted his perception and his expression turned solemn. Just as Shen Hui had said, the jade bottle was very special. With his half-step ancestral immortal perception, he was unable to fully control the jade bottle. In other words, once he left the extraterritorial battlefield with the Sky Demon's heart, Shen Hui would know immediately and activate the jade bottle to break free from his control. Deal. Without much thought, Ningyu agreed to Shen Hui's request. Ningyu knew very well that he had no other choice. After all, Shen Hui was the Mission Hall Master and a late-stage ancestral immortal. If he really angered Shen Hui, it would be difficult for him to do anything in Tai Divine Sect. Before meeting Zhao Rue, he could not leave Tai Divine Sect for the time being. Moreover, agreeing to Shen Hui's request might not be a bad thing. Firstly, Shen Hui would definitely help him get rid of Wang Qing. Secondly, the safety of the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu in Tai Divine Sect would be guaranteed. It's really nice to work with smart people. Shen Hui stood up and said, "There's no time to lose. Go back and prepare. Come find me at the mission hall in an hour." Buzz finished speaking. Shen Hui's figure flickered and disappeared. Ning Yu, on the other hand, returned to his residence with the 3 ancestral immortal pills. Of the 3 ancestral immortal pills, Ning Yu gave one to Zhao Xian, one to the Dark Emperor, and one to Ning Lu. Zhao Xian's cultivation was at the late-stage Golden Immortal Realm. This ancestral immortal pill would probably allow her to reach the peak of the Golden Immortal Realm, or even the half-step ancestral immortal realm. As for the Dark Emperor and Ning Lu, their cultivation was at the early Golden Immortal stage. One ancestral immortal pill was enough for them to reach the late Golden Immortal stage. After explaining some matters to take note of, Ning Yu brought the Red Demon's sword to the mission hall. Ning Yu with the Red Demon's sword and without the Red Demon's sword were several levels apart. This trip to the extraterritorial battlefield was extremely dangerous. With the Red Demon's sword, Ning Yu's chances of success would be higher. Whoosh! 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 Not long after Ning Yu arrived at the mission hall, the void trembled. Following that, 3 figures appeared. Ning Yu's expression changed slightly when he saw the 3 figures that appeared suddenly. The 3 of them were not too old. However, their cultivation was the same as his, the half-step ancestral immortal realm. Swoosh! After that, Shen Hui tore through the void and appeared before Ning Yu and the others. I don't want to elaborate on the matters to take note of. I hope that the 4 of you can cooperate. Sincerely. Shen Hui waved it off and said, "There are a total of 2 entrances to the extraterritorial battlefield. You guys will enter from the side entrance this time around." "Hall Master Shin, do you not trust us?" Among the 3 martial artists, a martial artist in blue robes said in a deep voice, "Since the 3 of us have received your benefits, we will definitely bring the heavenly demon's heart back for you." "That's right." Another martial artist in white robes echoed, "This trip will be extremely dangerous. Bringing along a burden will definitely be a burden. I hope that the Hall Master will retract his order and only let the 3 of us go," the last martial artist in black robes said coldly. "Fu, I naturally trust the Northern Wilderness 3 swordsmen." Shen Hui smiled faintly. "However, as you guys have said, this trip to the extraterritorial battlefield will be extremely dangerous. It's better to have 1 more person." Shen Hui's expression was very natural. The Northern Wilderness 3 swordsmen, Zhou Yi, Zhou Hao, and Zhou Xin. The 3 of them were half-step ancestral immortals and were ranked top 5 among the Heaven Tier core disciples. The strength of the 3 swordsmen was in their teamwork. Any one of them could only go against an early-stage ancestral immortal expert. However, if they joined forces, they could go against a peak mid-stage ancestral immortal. Shen Hui had called the Northern Wilderness 3 swordsmen this time around out of consideration for insurance. After all, only by keeping each other in check would Ningyu not dare to forcefully devour the heavenly demon's heart. Humph, there's no need for that. Zhou Yi harumphed coldly and said to Ningyu, "Hand over the ancestral immortal elixir that Hall Master Shin gave you, and you can leave." Ningyu glanced at Zhou Yi, but did not say anything. He could easily kill a mere half-step ancestral immortal expert with a flip of his hand. Seeing that Ningyu had no reaction, Zhou Ye's expression changed. He said in a low voice, "Don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you are half-step ancestral immortals like us. To be honest, we are all half-step ancestral immortals, but there is a world of difference between us." There is indeed a world of difference. Ningyu nodded in agreement. "It's good that you know. Hand over the ancestral immortal elixir," Zhou Yi said. "I'm sorry, you might have misunderstood." Ningyu shrugged and said, "I'm saying that there's a world of difference between us. If you're still unable to understand, then I can put it more bluntly. Your strength is too weak, and the gap between us is too great." "What?" Zhou Ye's eyes widened, and his face was filled with disbelief. Among the heaven-ranked core disciples, his strength was considered one of the best. Even the number one heaven-ranked core disciple would not dare to speak to him in such a manner. Now a half-step ancestral immortal had appeared out of nowhere and dared to speak to him in such a manner? Anger filled Zhou Ye's face. In an instant, Zhou Yi rose from the ground and charged towards Ningyu. Swoosh! However, before Zhou Yi could fight with Ningyu, Shen Hui stood between them. "You are all people that I have invited. I hope that you can cooperate sincerely and help me find the heart of the heavenly demon." Shen Hui's expression was cold as he said, "In front of me, I hope that you can restrain yourselves. Since you want to compete, why don't we compete on who finds the heart of the heavenly demon first?" "All right, I will bet on who finds the heart of the heavenly demon first," Zhou Yi said coldly. "The stakes are—" At this point, Zhou Yi paused for a moment and glanced at Zhou Hao and Zhou Shin. After getting their confirmation, he continued, "Whoever loses has to obey the other party's orders unconditionally." Chapter 2158. Is there such a good thing? Ningyu raised his eyebrows and said in surprise, "Deal." "Humph. Aren't you afraid of getting cut off by the wind?" Zhou Yi snorted. From Zhou Ye's point of view, Ningyu was just putting on a strong front. The three swordsmen of the northern wilderness lived up to their reputation. Once they entered the foreign battleground, they would send someone to watch over Ningyu, so that Ningyu would not be able to get close to the heart of the heavenly demon. By then, wouldn't Ningyu be at their mercy? "Get ready to go." Shen Hui waved his hand, then tore open the void and entered. Behind him, the three swordsmen of the northern wilderness did not want to be left out. As for Ningyu, he was the last one to enter the void. Whoosh! After about half an hour, Shen Hui brought Ningyu and the rest to the second entrance of the foreign battleground. "After you find the heart of the heavenly demon, go back the way you came." Shen Hui pointed at the whirlpool in front of him and said, "When the time comes, I will meet you here." "Don't worry. I took your money and helped you get out of trouble." Zhou Yi waved his hand and leaped into the whirlpool. Zhou Shin and Zhou Hao did not stay idle. They followed behind Zhou Yi and entered the whirlpool. "I wish you success." Shen Hui smiled at Ningyu and said, "I will wait here for your good news." Swoosh! Ningyu observed the surroundings for a moment before transforming into an afterimage and dashing out. When Ningyu and the rest entered the foreign battleground, Shen Hui's lips curled up. "I hope you will be satisfied with this gift." Buzz! As his voice fell, Shen Hui tore open the void and disappeared. At the same time, Ningyu Zhou Yi and the rest had already arrived at the foreign battleground. Desolate. The foreign battleground gave Ning Yu the first impression that it was desolate. The second impression was that it was abnormally desolate. The surroundings were empty. Not even a fly could be seen. This is the foreign battleground. Frowning slightly, Ning Yu felt a little confused. Logically speaking, the extraterritorial battlefield should be filled with heavenly demons, with all kinds of powerful heavenly demons wreaking havoc. Why was it so empty here? Ignorant. Seeing Ning Yu's expression, Zhou Yi rolled his eyes and said, "How big is the extraterritorial battlefield? Moreover, this is the periphery of the extraterritorial battlefield, so extraterritorial demons basically won't come here." I see. Ning Yu had a look of sudden realization. He had only heard that the extraterritorial battlefield was incomparably dangerous, but he didn't know what was inside. Let's go to the west. Zhou Yi waved his hand and took out the jade bottle that Shen Hui gave him. He looked at it and said, "The heart of the Sky Fiend should be over there." Whoosh! With a flash of his figure, Zhou Yi flew toward the west. However, after flying a few steps, Zhou Yi stopped. Turning back to look at Ning Yu, Zhou Yi said, "Hey, do you want to join us?" "Me? With you?" Ning Yu pointed at his own nose and asked doubtfully, "Are you sure?" Ning Yu was a little puzzled. After all, Zhou Yi and the others had made a bet with him. Why did they want him to go with him? "Yes, and definitely," Zhou Yi said fiercely. "You will definitely lose the bet between us, so we want to bring you our slave. The extraterritorial battlefield is extremely dangerous. We don't want you to be killed by the Sky Fiend." Ning Yu's face was full of black lines. This Zhou Yi really had a personality. He didn't even see the heart of the Sky Fiend, and he already treated him as a slave. "His heart isn't bad," Ning Yu murmured. Ning Yu knew very well that although Zhou Yi said that, strictly speaking, Zhou Ye's heart wasn't bad. In the end, he still didn't want to see him killed by the Sky Fiend. "What are you dawdling for? Hurry up and go." Zhou Yi said coldly, "Stay close on the road. When we meet the Sky Fiend later, be careful not to get killed." Ning Yu originally wanted to act separately from Zhou Yi and the others, but after thinking about it, he changed his mind. Firstly, he knew very little about the extraterritorial battlefield. Secondly, Zhou Yi and the others didn't have bad hearts. Thirdly, Shen Hui was a mysterious person, and his way of doing things was very strange. All in all, acting together with Zhou Yi and the others was the best choice. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. Zhou Yi and the others were in front, while Ning Yu was at the back. It was peaceful along the way. However, Ning Yu was not someone who knew his place. While resting on the road, he began to talk with Zhou Yi and the others. "What did Shen Hui tell you?" Ning Yu asked. "What does it have to do with you?" Zhou Yi said coldly, "Since we took his money, we will help him get rid of his troubles. Shen Hui gave us 3 ancestral immortal pills, so we naturally have to help him find the heart of the Sky Fiend." Am I thinking too much? Ning Yu frowned slightly. From Ning Yu's point of view, Shen Hui was definitely up to no good. Things were definitely not as simple as they seemed. Since the first time he met Shen Hui, he felt that Shen Hui was a scheming person. The matter of the heart of the Sky Fiend might just be a pretense. Shen Hui's real motive should be something else. Kakik. Right at this moment, a sinister laughter sounded in the ears of Ning Yu and the others. "Who?" Zhou Yi and Zhou Hao hurriedly looked away. It seems like it was the right choice to let Shen Hui enter the Tai Divine sect in the early years. Kacha! Suddenly, the void cracked and a figure wrapped in black fog appeared in front of Ning Yu and the others. An ancestral immortal level Sky Fiend. Feeling the terrifying aura emitted from the black Sky Fiend, Zhou Yi and the others' expressions changed drastically. Generally speaking, the Sky Fiends in the extraterritorial battlefield could be divided into several categories. Sky Fiends below the Golden Immortal level were not very strong and were cannon fodder level. Sky Fiends at the Golden Immortal level were stronger and were the backbone of the Sky Fiend army. And Ancestral Immortal level Sky Fiends could be called generals in the Sky Fiend army. You have a good eye. The Black Sky Fiend glanced at Zhou Yi, then shifted his gaze to Ningyu and said, I feel a terrifying aura from you. If I'm not wrong, you should have Essence Immortal nomological laws on you. Boom! Hearing the Black Sky Fiend's words, Zhou Yi and the others felt their heads explode. Essence Immortal nomological laws? Not long ago, they were mocking Ningyu and provoking Ningyu, making Ningyu their slave. Now, they heard that Ningyu had Essence Immortal nomological laws. Instantly, they felt a lingering fear. Fortunately, when they entered the extraterritorial battlefield, they did not directly attack Ningyu, but chose to bring Ningyu along. Now, it seemed that Ningyu did not kill them was their great fortune. There's indeed something wrong with Shenhui. Ningyu took a step forward and said, Since you know that I have Essence Immortal nomological laws on me, you shouldn't have come alone. Ha ha ha. The Black Sky Fiend raised his head and laughed maniacally, then waved his hands. Kacha! In an instant, the void was torn apart and several silhouettes appeared. Whoosh! Without a doubt, these people were all Sky Fiends. Moreover, the most terrifying thing was that these Sky Fiends were abnormally powerful. Ancestral Immortals. Every Sky Fiend's cultivation level was at the Ancestral Immortal level. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.